kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. DJ Skillet, sweet beat, the realest team on the realest. Watch out, I kill it, watch out, I spit it on the mic, feel it. Y'all can't do what I do, just admit it. I'm about to get it, money, get it. Drop it to the floor, shake my big bitties, bumping like Diddy. My face look pretty. Y'all ain't doing shit, no, I done did it. That's marvelous, fantabulous, a bad chick. The flow sick like oh shit, you know this. I'm too fit to ever quit. Knocking these fools out like pool sticks. I do this, I move this, I prove this. Bars be hard like a pound of bricks. It go up, jump to boogie to the bang bang high. It's the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta. It's the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. It's the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. It's the kind of beat to go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta.
本次的活动即将开始，有请场边的传声记者可以移动到媒体室部署了。欢迎现场的所有雄亲来到今天的凤山体育馆参加今天的赛事，我们例行赛的最后一站。今天呢是高雄17直播钢铁人主题日，铁定有你。很感激这一赛季呢所有雄亲的热情支持，不管是逆境或者是顺境呢，都一直支持着我们，陪伴着我们，所以我们才有这样的动力继续的努力下去。今天我们离季后赛只剩下最后一步。 听到这边来一点折扇声好不好？感谢各位雄亲，我们好想知道在家打季后赛的感觉，希望雄亲们可以用尽全力，帮我们高雄17直播钢铁人加油！球员呢也将用500%、1000%的努力回馈给现场的所有雄亲。现场的雄亲给自己还有高雄17直播钢铁人先来一点掌声好不好？ 感谢现场所有雄亲莅临高雄凤山体育馆。今天呢，也来了几位相当厉害的贵宾，我们要来隆重欢迎他们。首先欢迎第一位来自高雄市运发局的侯尊尧侯局长，局长你好，欢迎您。下面一位是 Taco 品牌负责人薛怡莹，你好，欢迎你们。好的。 也请还没有入座的雄亲可以依序的赶快入座。现在呢，要邀请所有的雄亲发出最热情的掌声还有尖叫声，欢迎17直播人气主播曼曼 MM Style 带来的开场表演。
天空的雾来得漫不经心，河水像油画一样安静，和平的慵懒无法压着云，心偷偷的放晴。祈祷你像英勇的禁卫军，动也不动地守护爱情。你在回忆里留下的脚印，是我爱的风景。 我的爱未眠。 全都装进心里，陪我一起旅行。我要送你日不落的想念，寄出代表爱的明信片。我要送你日不落的爱恋，心牵着心把世界走遍。你就是心电，你就是心电，我的爱未眠。不落的想念，飞在你身边，我的爱未眠。我要送你日不落的想念，寄出代表爱的明信片。我要送你日不落的爱恋，心牵着心把世界走遍。你就是心电，你就是心电，我的爱未眠。不落的想念，飞在你身边，我的爱未眠。我要送你日不落的想念，寄出代表爱的明信片。我要送你日不落的爱恋，心牵着心把世界走遍。你就是心电，你就是心电，我的爱未眠。不落的想念，飞在你身边，我的爱未眠。
直播，谢谢喜欢篮球的大家，谢谢。
再次感谢一期直播人气主播慢慢 Style。接下来，让我们欢迎最有活力的钢铁人啦啦队钢铁女神雅典娜带来精彩的舞蹈表演。
Hold up. 어떤 높이 가줄게. 내가 바랬던 세계 안티티티티. Gonna break out, gonna break out. 안티티, fragile. 더 높이 가줄게. 내가 바랬던 세계 제일 위에. Now you know my name. Anti-fragile. Anti-fragile.
再一次掌声加尖叫声，感谢钢铁女神雅典娜精彩的舞蹈表演，谢谢他们。本场赛事将由高雄一期直播钢铁人在自家主场迎战前来挑战的福尔摩沙台新梦想家。现在为各位介绍客队球员名单。 背号0号陈正杰，背号3号吴家俊，背号5号麦卡洛，背号7号林耀宗，背号11号林俊吉，背号14号吴永胜，背号18号杨胜彦，背号21号简浩，背号23号钱肯尼，背号26号李德威，背号28号卢冠良，背号34号吉尔贝克，背号88号周伯成，总经理韩俊凯，总教练赖柏林，助理教练陈世念 Thomas， 刘文和，球员发展总监田磊。谢谢亲爱的雄青，你们是钢铁人不断努力的动力。现场的雄青，你们准备好了没？让我们欢迎高雄17直播钢铁人球员进场。最重要的比赛，他们身边将会带着一位最重要的女性来到场中央。首先出场的是高雄17直播钢铁人最可爱的吉祥物，背号65号 ，Number 65， 艾恩。背号2号 ，Number 2， Hustle J， 后场大心脏，雄青们口中龙的传人，今天会有最美好的结尾 ，J West 张杰伟。背号8号，手起刀落，出手绝不想太多，钢弹少年 Louis 王绿翔。背号11号，随时做好准备，展现劲爆体能，林君豪。背号13号 ，Number 13， 球队的精神领袖，是射手，不是投手，男模阿弥陀佛 ，Captain Lu 吕正如。背号14号。不止爱狗，更爱防守，阳光男孩邱伯章。 背号18号钢铁禁区之术大港回归林志伟。背号20号 Number 20。 醉汉的钢铁巨塔 ，A.K.A. 钢铁身重宽 ，A.K.A. 凤山彭于晏 ，Mouse 孙思尧。背号23号，用最努力的态度回馈给雄青。 钢铁战斧蓝少福，为各位介绍先发5人名单。背号3号 Number 3 Chada Head Chada， 3分狂轰，一起发出龟派气功 ，Goku Nation 悟空。 背号5号 Number 5， 得篮板者得天下，拿帮拢是阮的糖果杀手 Candy Crush Wendell Lewis 温德。背号77号野兽派防守人来疯射手 Weber 张博伟。背号4号钢铁人最临危不乱，你永远猜不透的冷面杀手大满贯新人王陈佑伟。 The last one， 各位雄青，你们准备好了吗？背号7号 ，Number 7， 信我所行，说到做到，这就是我的人道。从零开始 ，Ladies and gentlemen， Jeremy 林书豪。 总经理高景言，篮球事务营运长兼总教练郑志龙，助理教练韩义平、洪启超、李婉如，个人技巧教练兼球队翻译林冠军，助理体能教练陈胜权，影像分析师陈嘉轩，防护员黄玉俊、包俊兴。Jay, you ready?
1, 2, 3,
Steelers！ 好的，邀请我们双方球员至场边稍待片刻。我们即将进行的是我们的 P.LEAGUE 2022年到23年赛季 Porsche 4月 MVP 颁奖。P.LEAGUE 本季持续邀请 Porsche Taiwan 冠名赞助2022-23赛季单月最有价值球员，除了可以获得 Porsche 乘以 P.LEAGUE 特制奖杯外呢，更可获得 MVP 专属的 Porsche 深度体验之旅，与 Porsche 一起感受梦想成真的喜悦。
当你停下脚步，不，却发现梦想仍驱动着你。如果全世界都说不可能，而你认为放弃更不可能，你就和我们同路，都为梦想而生。Dreamers on。
Porsche 4月 MVP 高雄一期直播钢铁人林书豪在线林来疯狂潮，本月缴出平均29.9分。 8.5篮板、10.3助攻的亮眼成绩，更在4月23号的比赛攻下50分、10篮板、11助攻，成为联盟史上第一位50分的大三元球员，帮助钢铁人4月拿下7胜1败，连同3月最后一场比赛拉出队史新高的8连胜。 攻防两端精彩的表现，获选为4月最有价值球员的殊荣，也成为联盟本季第2位蝉联单月 MVP 的选手。现在让我们邀请 Porsche 4月 MVP 高雄一期直播钢铁人林书豪到场中间，同时邀请台湾保时捷行销处长 Daniel Furst 以及执行长陈建州一起上台进行颁奖。好，有请我们的 Daniel 颁发我们保时捷车钥匙。 好，也颁发 MVP 奖杯。看一下我们的媒体朋友，感谢我们的黑哥，感谢 Daniel。好的，再次感谢我们的4月 MVP 得主林书豪，一点掌声加尖叫给他。也非常感谢 Porsche 对 P.LEAGUE 以及球员们的肯定与支持。现在把场上时间交给双方球员进行赛前热身。
We'll be right back.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. Happy Mother's Day to all out there. Somebody is moving on and somebody is going home for the final regular season English broadcast here in the Plus League. We present to you the Formosa Taishin Dreamers here at Formosa Stadium to play the Kaohsiung 1-7 Live Steelers, the penultimate game before the playoffs begin next week. I'm Ryan Chen, your play-by-play as always, joined by Paul Liao. Paul, you've had a busy weekend, but glad to have you on a final Sunday.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here today to witness history and an incredible game today.
How fitting. Jeremy Lin's debut game on February 12th against the Dreamers, and for the Dreamers to come here again to wrap up their respective seasons up. What's at stake is the 4th place in the Plus League regular season standings and a ticket to play the New Taipei Kings in the very first round of the Plus League playoffs. On the other side of the bracket is the 2nd place Braves and the 3rd place Pilots in the other series in a best of 5 before the finals, a best of 7 series. Well, step 1 of 2 on the weekend completed. Yesterday, the Steelers defeated the Pilots pretty handily, though, with a caveat of having a very hot arena. We'll tell you about that and more. But first, the key to this game, not only do the Steelers need to get a victory, they also need to win by a margin of 6 points or more to have the head-to-head advantage against the Dreamers. On the screen is our Mandarin broadcast duo, Kyle Tongkai and 菜包蔡晴晴，球迷朋友们，你找到了官方的英文转播，要看中文的转播，当然按到中文的连接。谢谢你的收看，记得我们的转播都按赞。It's been quite a long road. Obviously, the Plus League regular season going from 90 games up to 120 games, but we'll say this hopefully not too many times, but how amazing, how crazy, how incredible it is that the second to last game of the season and the last game for their respective teams will still matter in terms of the standings and who will move on to have a chance at the championship and who will have to go home packing.
Yeah, man, in some ways it's a finale for one of the team here. Like one, as you said, one is going home and one is moving on. There's so much on the line in this game, and today in Formosa Stadium, as I look around, it is packed in here. You don't usually see this many people in here, and we see a lot of fans, both Steelers and Dreamers fans, here cheering on their respective teams, hoping that their team would go on into the playoffs.
Well, let's start breaking down some of the specifics on the regular season. The Dreamers with the 4 wins and 3 losses head-to-head advantage. They also happen to be leading that season series by 5 points exactly. And previously you saw on screen in the Jeremy Lin quote-unquote era, the Steelers have 2 wins and 1 loss against the Dreamers. That is a 14-point swing in the favor of the Steelers. Obviously, we said the first game on February 12th. But then, to be fair to the Dreamers, the very next week that they played each other, the Dreamers came out, forced 25 turnovers mostly on Jeremy Lin, probably his worst game in the Plus League, to only 18 assists as a team. And then the Steelers came back on April 2nd. They changed that around, 26 assists, 19 turnovers. Olujobi and Wendell Lewis together, they were plus 19 on the rebounds. So there's a lot of different factors that are still at play. As we mentioned before, one of the biggest ones, yesterday, the Steelers.
就是我觉得这个就是一个 once in a lifetime 的一个经验，从来没遇到这样的一个情况。你前面是 2-17， 后面20场赢了 whatever， 就是应该没见过啊。那一样就是我们都知道这是 reality， 那我们怎么还是用一样的方式去走下去，这是最大的挑战。我们很值得站在这个位置，我们全部的教练团队跟球员已经付出很多努力。那因为我们很值得的，我们就一直保持我们的心态，不用想太多，不用想太少，就是一样的往下走。That's all I would say， 就是很值得在这里，已经全部都准备好了。
Jeremy Lin shouting out to his teammates to just go out there and play. They obviously, from the league accounting perspective, need to win by their 6 points. But the main thing is having lost a few weeks ago against the Kings, they were being forced to play elimination games starting last Saturday. They won against the Braves, they won yesterday against the Pilots, and they needed to make a little bit more magic here against a team who, at least for the first time in a few weeks, will be going full bore against them, though they will be playing fresh, having all week to prepare for the game. So the Dreamers, not to be overlooked.
Yeah, and Jeremy Lin mentioned how they want to have a same mentality. You know, Steelers, they were on a 8-game win streak. You know, that proves that they have confidence in themselves. And Jeremy Lin stated that, you know, this game has a lot.
我觉得算是蛮平静的啦，因为其实我们也是推演过很多版本，不同的版本。对，那其实，在紧张或者是一些比较高亢的情绪的时候，应该是在这周开始的时候。那反而其实到今天就是比较平静一点，就是跟自己讲平常心，然后可能也跟球员这样讲，然后就跟球员一样的心态啊，就是享受这个比赛这个氛围，然后相信今天一定有爆满的球迷嘛，那就是尽量去享受这个比赛。对，主要优势我可能还是我们他们昨天有打了一场球嘛，那我觉得我们就是花了整个礼拜在做准备，那我相信球员大家也知道这场的重要性啦，然后我觉得。5-5波吧，就是他们自己应该也是，因为毕竟也是他们的主场啦，我觉得都是5-5波的，就是剩下就是看临场反应了。
Head coach Liao Lane taking over partway through the season, sharing that he's actually, if you can believe it or not, relatively calm as the team has been going through different scenarios, whether it's the import matchups or whether they have a clinching game or not a clinching game today. Just obviously sharing what Jeremy shared, just trying to enjoy the game. It's a expected full house in here, so some Dreamers fans, of course, plenty of Jeremy and Steelers fans, but enjoy the atmosphere. And kind of an important part that the head coach is aware of, they need to be reacting to whatever happens during the game. And as for the defensive strategy against Jeremy, everybody is still trying to figure him out, and they need to stop his scoring along with his playmaking and the way he'll lead the team, as Jeremy, for a second month in a row, has won the Porsche MVP of the month, this time with a record of 7-1. Let's get to the starting lineups where Hayden, Wu Jiajun, Ryan, Lu Guanliang, Kenny Chen, Chris McCullough, Brandon Gilbeck for the Dreamers getting the start. And on the Steelers side, a little bit of a tweak. Jeremy Lin next to Chen Yongwei, Gokul Natason, Weber Tumbleway, and Wendell Lewis for the Steelers. The only change from yesterday to today is Gokul Natason, number 3, in for Femi Olujobi, who played the most minutes yesterday. So in a sense, the Steelers pretty strategic about that minutes played in yesterday's game today. We mentioned before, air conditioning not quite up to snuff, so it was a hot arena for the first half, and the second half went from 33 degrees Celsius down to like 28 degrees Celsius. Ooh. But it'll be a big test for the Steelers. The ceremonial tip is up, everything's in order, and we are about ready to go. The fans making some noise instead of trying to cool themselves off. The crew chief, Hang Han, throws up the tip, controlled by the Dreamers in whites and the Steelers in their Kaohsiung black kit. Hayden looking for Kenny Chen, guarded by Jeremy. As Wu Guanliang and Gilbeck, nothing creating on the pick and roll. Now Gilbeck will try to hit the hook, but it'll swirl out.
Wow, right off the bat, yeah, we're seeing the Dreamers making use of Big B, fighting into the paint. And I'm sure we'll see a lot more of that matchup between Wendell Lewis and Big B today.
And on that side, Kenny Chen, the primary defender, as the Steelers cough it up and score by Chris McCullough. This is actually the first time in 2 seasons, or 2 partial seasons, where Chris McCullough playing the Steelers. Last year, 7 games against, well, as a member of the Kings, as there's a whistle first. 7 games last year as a member of the Kings, and 7 games up to this point as a Dreamer has happened to not play the Steelers. That could work for McCullough, or maybe it could work against him.
Yeah, for sure. I think in some ways, McCullough is kind of a certainty for the Steelers.
Early 3 for Weber, but no good. Lewis got a hand on it, but here come the Dreamers. Hayden driving with a right hand. Will at least get a foul as he kind of runs into our cameraman, our colleagues at Formosa Television, but good that everybody's safe. Got a couple free throws coming up. Control of the game, at least to start, on the Dreamer side.
Yeah, and that is a key for Dreamer today. Like Hayden, you know, he did the right thing instead of driving in and causing the Steelers to, well, drawing fouls and causing the Steelers to kind of fall back and giving advantage for Dreamers today.
One thing as a team, though, that might be a little bit of concern is the free throw shooting, as that's an 0 for 2 trip. The Dreamers, despite having a reputation of a three-point shooting team on the season, only 63% from the line. A couple missed threes for the Steelers as Lewis was down low. I think there's a screen assist to Jeremy.
Yeah, beautiful off-ball pick. Smart play.
A little bit handsy down low, but the referee let it go. So anyway, giving Hayden a big step. Now it's McCullough, number 5 on number 7, as an early bumping foul against Jeremy.
Well, then we're just a few minutes in, and we talked about this before the game, but something that Steelers have to watch out for is Jeremy Lin and his fouls. Jeremy Lin is such a valuable asset, and Steelers would like to have Jeremy Lin for the whole game and not limit him due to foul trouble.
Hayden will try the 3 this time, and it goes in. So missing the 2 free throws, but switching the 3. Hayden is a solid, improved three-point shooter now on the season, as Jeremy throws that out of bounds, trying to get a replay on the out of bounds. His head coach is looking his way at Jerry, not offering much advice, as finally Tony gets the challenge in. Besides for that off-ball screen, the Dreamers are doing a pretty good job at preventing, number 1, Jeremy's dribble penetration to start the game.
For sure, yeah. And ever since Jeremy gets a ball on backcourt, Kenny sticks right onto him and puts a lot of pressure on Jeremy Lin right off the bat. You know, we may see Jeremy get a toll on this pressure.
He might have an argument. Gilbeck's left hand does come down, so it's in the neighborhood. He's not arguing something out of midair.
But we are still looking for the player who has touched that ball in yesterday's
game. Besides Olujobi, as they do call it for the Dreamers, maybe they must have said not enough evidence to overturn it. So the Steelers out of challenges early on the game.
Pretty early.
And Jeremy is trying to make an argument with all 3 officials, but to no avail.
And some fans aren't happy in the crowd either.
A 5-2 early lead for the Dreamers. Hayden running into traffic, and there's another whistle. Taishin reacted, but it will be on him. I thought they might call it on Jerry. There, Hayden driving, the hand goes down. A little bit of both. A little bit of a switch, and a switch back as Hayden making the first, but missing the second 3 attempts. On the season series, actually, the Steelers have made a couple more 3-pointers than the Dreamers. Lewis, that one is a deflection. He'll get it back. Not great rhythm as Weber puts it up. Quick the other way, given a lane, McCullough. He could not finish. Trying to drive amongst the Steelers, as the other way is Jeremy deep from 45. And look at Weber sticking in there and getting the basket.
A tough and 1. Right place, right time.
Well, it might be intentional, as Weber yesterday, about 19 minutes played. But getting the start today, this is his 11th so far in this season, just being in the right place and also keeping an eye on Brandon Gilbeck's foul count as well. He's been relatively more disciplined this season than last year. And now the Steelers have tied it up at 5. And the Taishin from behind. The intended target is McCullough as Jeremy flying in there will miss. And Gilbeck this time got back. A quick counter, trying to charge through 2. Off glass, missing the putback. And now a foul down low called by the slot official, though Taishin took one in the chest. Definitely a tough one to take if you're the Steelers, but nobody exactly got the stop on McCullough going through the lane.
Yeah, that was a crucial moment. Yeah, the Dreamers really pushing the ball really fast off the ball. And wow, yes, as we can see there, a big elbow to the chest.
Well, McCullough has not shown off the shooting and scoring prowess as he did last season, but that scorer still is in there. If he can get it going, they'll get a cleanup of the floor. His nickname Brisk from Ice-T from Syracuse, having to recover from his torn ACL last year as a member of the Kings. Good with a second one as Little Lou will be coming in for the Steelers. One of the shooters that the Steelers want to get going.
Yeah, today the Steelers chose to have Wendell Lewis and Goku in as imports. And I'm assuming they're expecting Goku to be a force out at the perimeter. But today the Dreamers are putting a lot of pressure on him.
A big block, but they say there was a foul on the floor. The physicality is a lot higher than it's been in a few weeks.
Absolutely, and I mean today, you know, both teams want it all, right? They have all their chips in. They want to put everything they have on the floor today. And we're only in the first quarter, and man, it is really setting in the tone for the rest of the game, where both teams are so physical with one another, defensively and offensively.
Jeremy pump fake as they rotate it around underneath as Steelers no power forward exactly. And then Wendell Lewis had that one blocked. Again, McCullough having a lot of free range, driving down the middle, tries from deep. Pass deflected and another turnover by the Steelers. Numbers advantage as they call a charge. Jeremy Lin sticking with the play and staying in there. It was a close one, and certainly the Dreamers want to do a lot better than that. Get another replay. There's at least a 3-on-1, and Jeremy gambled and gambled correctly, taking the hit.
Yeah, in some ways, right there, I think Kenny might have been the better option. But McCall has doing a lot in this game, just driving in. Unfortunately, Jeremy Lin was able to draw a foul there.
Little hammer play, but Captain Lou to Little Lou. It's in. I believe if my memory serves me correct, this is the first lead for the Steelers on the game. But we still got a lot of basketball left, only 5 minutes in. McCullough out to Jeff Lucas center field. It's short. Now it's Jeff Wu's turn to guard Jeremy. Little horn sets, and the Taishin left wide open, but overshoots it. Interesting defensive gamble by the Dreamers there. Doesn't hurt him that time as Chris aims one up. Not quite, but Gilbeck right there. Gonna take Lewis on the dribble. Stepping through, a nice move and 2 points.
And that's what Big B does so well of. You know, if he's in the interior, right there, he got the offensive board, giving Dreamers a second chance point.
Jeremy gambling himself, and lucky for him, there was a whistle. Otherwise, that looked like Dreamers were going to go the other way. A lot of defensive pressure on number 7, as you can expect all game.
Yeah, obviously Dreamers know that Jeremy Lin is going to be the guy that will decide today's game. And they're putting a lot of pressure on him.
That horn is the first time out of the game. Stick with the broadcast as we figure things out between the Dreamers and Steelers for the playoffs.
时候，请张大嘴巴，一起大口吃寿司。邀请我们大荧幕上面出现的雄青们，可以看看大荧幕，就是你们来张大嘴巴，大口吃寿司，标准动作，谢谢你们。你听啊，好，非常好，标准动作，感谢热情的雄青们，感谢。 雄青，来，请张大嘴巴，大口吃寿司，非常好，谢谢你。数好的铁粉吗？张大嘴巴吃寿司。
Like it up if you like some late season drama in game 119 of 120. Still yet to determine the final team of the P.LEAGUE playoffs to get even this late in the season to determine which team would go. You have to go to the first season where the Pilots beating the Dreamers on the 4th to last game meant the Lioneers were eliminated from contention. Last season, it was kind of a much bigger margin between those who would advance and those who were left out between the Steelers and Pilots, too far behind the rest of the field. But not the case here, in a large part thanks to Jeremy Lin's efforts starting on February 12th. First free throw in, Mrs. Lin walked in with him as all the Steelers were offered to bring their mothers in for the player introductions in a special Mother's Day weekend battle.
Yeah, and Steelers getting the lead again, and Ryan, we're only halfway into the first quarter, and Steelers are already on bonus.
A shot off iron, and quickly down court, Captain Liu leaks out and gets the lay-in.
A little touchdown pass there by Jeremy Lin. I'm surprised Captain Liu got over there so quickly.
Well, he was guarding the shooter, the easiest guy to leak out on this. We'll put down, closing and then choosing better of it. Now put up a quick pass. They do whistle on the play. Jeremy, Wendell, and Captain Liu in the picture. It's going to be on, I think, number 13, Captain Liu. Get another look at the right-handed pass down court, and Captain Liu, who got the score. He started in yesterday's game, but was 0 for 10. So maybe saving his bullets for today.
Yes.
Well, at the line again. His free throw shooting has looked good. His shots from the field, not so much. As Jeremy, see, taking an early rest.
Yeah, like you said before, Dreamers has not been a great free throw shooting team, but if today they can kind of bump up their free throw percentage, that might be one of the key points to today's game and the results.
That's right. Coming into today, even Chris McCullough only 23 for 40 from the line. Yesterday, Sun Siyao only played about 6 minutes, but he's in there early. Played the big as Tanyoue through the contact. Got it.
A little spin move action, and Tanyoue in. Jeremy Lin's on the bench, resting up. And this is one of the patterns Steelers have, to have Jeremy Lin rest up a little bit. 5 minutes left in the quarter, and nice steal.
Here comes Goku Taishin, who got the hands on it. His three is on the way, but halfway down and out. Captain Liu there to pick him up, but McCullough stops that pass. Little 2-on-2 action going all the way. Missing the first, getting the second. Wow. And chance for and one free throw coming up. So right now, as we said before, McCullough not exactly on top of his game, but that tall frame is a problem when he's set up right underneath the basket. That's already a second break in a row.
Yeah, we've seen that so many times this game, and obviously Captain Liu's turnover, that was devastating. And Nicole really punished the Steelers for that. And what the Steelers need to do right now, obviously one thing they could do is boxing out, but really getting McCall out of that paint.
A free throw at, we are tied at 14. According to the Plus League website, 4 Steelers turnovers. Dreamers have 3 of their own. Jianhao's in there. Switched on to Mouse down low, but it's Natason driving on Derek through the contact and off glass. Jianhao giving a step, tries an early 3. That'll be another area to look at how they use Doug Creighton's minutes.
And today, I mean, as of right now, both teams aren't really shooting that great in the three-point range.
Yeah, but the pace has been pretty fast.
Pretty fast.
Little Lou, there's a brick off the backboard.
Yeah, before that, both teams are 1 for 7 out at the arc.
Now it's McCullough, turnaround shot on Natason, but Captain Lou now kind of playing power forward. Those good hands by Jeff will cause a turnover. Line change for the Steelers. They will be liberal with Jeremy's playtime and rest. Only about a minute and a half has gone by on the play clock.
Just a little short water break for Jeremy Lin. Yeah, the team needs him.
Now McCullough with a fadeaway. Numbers for the Steelers, but Jeremy holding on a little too long with Toyoway tries. That three-point shot is not found him. There's the long two. This time he bottoms it. Finally some relief if you're the Dreamers.
Yeah, that was a great outlet pass by the Dreamers. Kicking it out early, giving the Dreamers a chance to get a one-on-one.
Trying to go underneath the hands of Derek. Jeremy off the mark. But they turn it over. Weber lifting up the court as Jeremy misses the runner. And now they slow it up. Dreamer trying to get Gilbeck and Jerry Silverton in the game. They got their hands on it in a strip. Wendell Lewis, one man to beat, the big strip and the Thunder.
Rocks the rim.
We're tied up once again, and certainly hope high-level play continues for the rest of the game. They screen, Jeff Wu will try, and he gets the away fans something to cheer about.
Yeah, today the Dreamers fan section is actually packed too.
Jeremy splitting the double team. They do call a reaching foul as he had his back to the basket, but maybe taking a couple shots there.
Yeah, right to the jaw.
Getting a look at the screen by Doug for Jeff Wu. You would think it'd be the other way, but the Dreamers trust each other. And that's something that even Jeremy said in yesterday's press conference about Captain Liu, about Jerry. He says, everybody's worked so hard on the season. Just because you're an over doesn't mean you should quit shooting. Not shooting actually ruins the flow of the offense. And the Dreamers had similar problems early in the middle part of their season too, where they were missing those shots. And so when you pass out of an open shot, you might end up costing yourself a turnover.
Absolutely, yeah, and you do want to Actually, both teams right now aren't shooting great in the three-point line, but you don't want to lose confidence in yourself. Both teams are making plays for players to get open threes, and they know what they need to do, and they should continue the pattern. Shooting. Jeremy knocks down.
Aji coming in relatively late, bringing up on target. Gilbeck tried to slam it down. Plenty of Steelers were in the neighborhood. Now Jeremy going one-on-one. Down to Wendell Lewis, an easy dunk. That's what the Dreamers got to avoid. Sending 3 or 4 guys at Jeremy, leaving somebody open. But the other side is Gilbeck. He's fouled as he takes a little bit of a tumble. Kind of a dangerous play by Weber.
Yeah, a little risky move.
He'll take a second to take inventory, having an awkward stumble. But look, Zhou Chen and Gilbeck not exactly helping out in the pass through the hands, too. On the other side, Zhambawei, that's kind of a dangerous foul. He's going to have to issue an apology to Gilbeck, though. I'm sure he'd rather that just not happen at all. Let's see if Gilbeck can get himself composed for a couple important free throws.
Yeah, not sure what Weber was thinking there. Whether I don't think he was able to block Big B on that dunk, but
Conley gets the first one. Well, with the appearance from the bench, Aji Ling Junji officially in the running for Sixth Man of the Year. Ever since the first season, always a good candidate, Quincy Davis, though having to miss out on yesterday's game. Situation ongoing. But that one's a miss. And to finish that thought off, Justin Lu Zhixiang, who won it last season, this year getting most of the starts for the Pilots as a little horn set. Jeremy driving on Jeff, a little push pass to Little Lou, overshooting everything. Dreamers with a 1-point lead, get the screen as Gilbeck. The slot official comes in with the help, as for some reason the Dreamers bench agitated, but they did get the foul call in there.
Yeah, at first it was just a strip, but I think the refs called it a foul, and foul situation right now, it would be 2 shots, I believe.
That's what you call the secondary referee on the play.
Oh, teamwork by the referee team here. Yeah, with a game like this high intensity, you got to be a lot of calls for the ref.
Another free throw made by Gilbeck. He's been solid in this game. On the season, only hitting every 3 out of 5 overall. That one's another miss, though.
Missing the second.
Now Aji guarding Chen Youwei. Those two briefly matched up in college. Little backward and Taishin. Swing it to Wendell, who gets the left-handed lay. And just like yesterday, Wendell Lewis starting to become a scoring opportunity. Yesterday on the second hand, off the rebounds, and this time on the assist. Zhou Chen and Jerry fighting in there. It'll stay with the Dreamers.
Yeah, Wendell Lewis is so smart underneath the basket. And he realizes his teammates driving in, and if a double team happens on the driver, Wendell Lewis sees space, and if his teammates were able to get it to him, he's able to make something happen.
Early Yang Se-yin minutes has dug in and out. It was close. And immediately Yang Se-yin fresh in is guarding Jeremy. They leave Captain Liu wide open from the left. And he bangs it.
Captain Liu, do what he does best.
That gets the Steelers up by 3. Aji with a quick counter. He got it all in. quick back and forth, 6 points between the two teams. Jeremy fakes left, going right. Through contact, there will be a whistle as you heard him take a hard fall on the floor. I don't think it is on Gilbeck.
The crowds are pretty riled up.
It's on 18 as he got his hand in there. And all the bodies crashing down together. So now it's Jeremy's turn to try to fight through these free throws. As McCullough will come in for, let's see what the Dreamers set up for, 4 seconds full court.
Yeah, in this last second, Steelers have to make sure they don't cause an easy layup for Dreamers. You can't, every second counts in this game, and you can't just let loose.
Sinking the first one. Before that attempt, the Steelers were 5 for 6, but the Dreamers on the other side, 7 for 11 from the line. Jeremy will stay in there as Tony will get Little Lou and Weber in. They're matched up, cross-matched up pretty much everywhere. Aji, three-quarter court, going to the middle from the logo. But it's gonna find the Kaohsiung Athena back around us. And the first quarter is in the books. The Kaohsiung 1-7 Live Steelers, 26 points. The Formosa Taishin Dreamers, 24.
这边的雄青交给你们参加哦。好的，后面一点的雄青了。好的，接到我们沙包的雄青们呢，在第二节结束之前的2分钟，记得到我们的东出口找工作人员报告一下，想要海报的。 哦，你都坐着，然后突然跳起来。
PLeagueofficial.com/shop, where you can get Plus League branded gear, just like the pros, or just like your favorite, maybe Charles Chen, Jinzo, or even Mr. Plus. Now, there's been plenty of build-up to this game, Paul. They last played all the way back on April 2nd in Taichung, where the Steelers won 97-87. The win pulled the Steelers to within 4 games of the Dreamers, so that's still a little bit of a gap. And then the 42 days since, the Steelers have gone 7-1, and the Dreamers 4-3. And that's where we find ourselves today.
And if I can remember correctly, that was a game Jeremy Lin had 16 assists, which right then was the league, tied the league record for assists in a game.
And a deep three made. Off to a good start in the second quarter. Taishin stroking it. That first quarter, not exactly the hottest shooting
for both teams.
Maybe the aircon a little too cold. It is overcast outside and even cool. That looks high. And there's McCullough, another offensive rebound, but forcing it up.
Wow.
He kind of took a poke to the eyeball, it looks like, as Jeremy now also down. A bunch of players down as immediately the refs waving over some medical staff as getting a look at Jeremy taking it to the face.
And McCall shooting the shot, I think, with one eye. But that was a hard fall for Jeremy.
Well, an odd play for everybody out there. There could be bleeding going on. That's why the referees signal as fast as they did. Definitely an awkward looking play. There you see coming down, incidental contact. Really not much you could say ill-intentioned. The Dreamers gather around their head coach, the Steelers across the hardwood wandering about. Well, could also be a bloody nose too. That'll definitely be something to look out for the rest of the game, as whether it's a cut to the face or a bloody nose, that could kind of become a problem later in the game as well. But Jeremy still not moving, getting plenty of attention. Hopefully he doesn't have a concussion going on either. He does have the plug into the left nostril to be detailed, though.
Yeah,
probably still feeling the effects. Now even trying to compose himself. Nervous times if you're a Steelers fan.
Yeah, knock to the face is never easy, and with head injuries, you always have to be sure that nothing too much is going on. Better safe than sorry.
Now he's on his feet, though. His hand motion definitely not an encouraging sign, as awkwardly enough, Tony is yelling at the training staff who's on hand to help out. And as important as Jeremy is, they're trying to get all kinds of attention to help him even move off the floor. So definitely concussion is at play now. And this long stoppage, you gotta wonder which team will help out a little bit more. Even Wang Bozi and Medium Lu is on hand too.
Yeah, as they lay Jeremy back down, I think they're gonna take a little more time on this.
I haven't said his name in a long time, but there's Zhou Yixiang in the North Carolina t-shirt on hand. The two of them teammates in the CBA with the Beijing team. So now they're actually even gonna bring out the stretcher. Again, on the surface, there's the nosebleed that gets your attention, but the concussion is definitely the biggest thing you kind of worry about. He'll walk off, at least he'll try to walk off his own power. But as you can expect, probably straight to the locker room as they do some more evaluations. Obviously, you want all the players and the best players available for the game. But the Steelers have been able to do it without him. I believe it was early March where they were victorious against the Braves, and then on a crazy 7 p.m. tip to 2:30 turnaround, they lost to the Lioneers, at least taking one game while Jeremy was out with a little bit of an illness. They also held it down in his 50-point triple-double game, though that was only 4 minutes that they had to hang on to the game. Get another look at it from the backside. Zenzalo quite agitated, approaching Jeremy and the coaching staff. And immediately the Dreamers showing off a 2-3 zone. To Taishin hitting the first before, as there's another whistle. And a little bit of extra stuff going on. But oddly enough, it's Lu Guanliang in there. The referees jump in on that. Mouse looks like the #1 target. And it seems like we have another stoppage going on.
And the refs trying to calm both teams down. A lot of emotions here.
Well, they'll put the attention on Brandon Gilbeck as you get another look at. There's the illegal hit to the head as Lu Guanliang came in to defend his teammate, but you don't want to get in trouble yourself. The three referees are together in a little conference. See, Gilbeck knew exactly where it came from. And as of right now, there's an unsportsmanlike called as the referees will go to the monitor. So there's plenty of stuff, plenty of drama going on in this one, and plenty of stoppages, to be fair. So rhythm, you could say, is taking a hit, but I think fatigue-wise, that's not exactly going down. As you see, the very dangerous hit by Mouse. He took it on the face on the recoil by Gilbeck, but you really can't be faulting Gilbeck after he get hit to the back of the head. But Lu Guanliang also jumping in there to defend his teammate, which is applaudable, but you don't also want to get in trouble and have these fouls start canceling each other out.
Yeah, sometimes you have to let the ref do their job. And if there's something or unsportsmanship-like conduct, the refs will call it, but you can't take it on your own to do something about it. Wow, Ryan, we're only 1 minute into the game. A lot of things are happening.
Now they will officially report to the table as Gilbeck trying to jump in there, but the referees need to do their job. It is Mouse with the U and Lu Guanliang with a U himself, so not exactly a good result if you're the Dreamers. Interesting, as it seems like Brandon Gilbeck might have picked something up too. And that's what we're talking about. That's the results that you don't want to have as the Dreamers, because obviously you feel like you're the victim on the play, but all those retaliation, that not even a big of a blow if we're really talking about mean-spirited fighting terms, but
precisely
not even giving that much of a blow, but doing it more for show, rhyming unintended, and the results are maybe free throws for the other team. You see the shove, that was the big one that the referees went all that out pleased about from Lu Guanliang. Definitely a very dangerous and unnecessary play by Mouse, as now the referee's having another conference in front of the scorer's table. They're right now the ones who are the biggest squad on the floor that are being challenged. In the first quarter, there was plenty of physicality, a lot of hands in there, a lot of strips, even one or two of those trips as we saw, but in this second quarter, the McCullough and Jeremy Lin exchange, which obviously unfortunate, but you can't really say any mean-spirited for either of those players.
Team.
But this last play is not the same. It is with all kinds of ill intent in there.
Yeah, with 1 minute in, I feel like the team that's making the most plays, the reffing team, making important plays to keep the players safe. It's obviously the top priority, with Jeremy Lin with his injury, and right now we know that this game is quite the physical game, and refs kind of have to reassess the tone and making sure that both teams are playing with aggressiveness, but also composed and controlled aggression and intensity.
Looks like Tony's gonna keep Mouse in there, but bring a few of the bench guys on the floor. For the game, other options includes 200-centimeter George Lin Ziwei, though they haven't gone to him in a while with some hip and back discomfort.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Steelers are going to do now without Jeremy Lin and see what they can whip up in this second quarter.
And they're reporting again. And it seems like a third U might be issued.
那因为裁判响哨之后，大 B 的回手动作在死球之后也是升为 U 犯规，所以说向后抵消。之后卢冠良的推人，我们也给一个 U， 所以说罚2球，边线恢复比赛。
And that's what we're talking about. That's perhaps the worst result if you're the Dreamers. 2 unsportsmanlike for them, and only 1 for Sun Siyao, who, if we had to be issuing any critical commentary, it's got to be towards Sun Siyao for taking a shot at the back of an opponent's head. And somehow Sun Siyao is going to end up on the free throw line. But this is starting to become territory where you're making the referee make the call. First free throw missed by Sun Siyao. As we mentioned, he's been coming on a lot as of late, being favored by the Steelers coaching staff. He goes 1 for 2.
Yeah, and he's a player on the Steelers that's getting more playing time because he is putting a lot of effort and finding his way in the rotation and putting himself to good use.
There's another whistle as Toyoe was making a move. And 2 unsportsmanlike in a common foul. Their total is 3, and you could say just 1 possession. There you see trying to slide his feet. A little bit of a hand at the end. Cross-court pass, Kenny Chen pokes it away, flips around and lays it in for a good answer by the Dreamers. And that'll be the case for both teams. As long as they can run, they want to take advantage of easy points. The first score of the game for number 23 as they settle in their zone. Ding Junhao, second-year player, as they drop it. Another chance to run. Aji floating up the Gilbert. Oh my goodness. I think we have our play of the game as the Steelers call timeout. Game tied at 30 apiece. Whew. We need to catch our breath. You need to get a replay of this dunk. Plus this basketball will be back after this. We are tied up at 30 here in game 119 of the Plus League regular season, a game to determine who will go to the playoffs. And right now, the biggest headlines, well, initially I was going to say Jeremy Lin unfortunately having to leave the court and perhaps leave the arena even with his injury, but no, the headlines belong to Brandon Gilbeck. And a late entry for the dunk of the year, assist to Aji. But 2 times in a row, the Steelers turned it over, and it leads to a Dreamers fast break.
For sure, yeah. The Steelers, without Jeremy Lin, we're seeing back-to-back turnovers, and they're getting punished for it.
Sun Siyao fighting in there, but could not get the ball in the cup. And another chance for the Dreamers, this time to take the lead. Aji and Gilbeck, high screen and roll. Moves it up. Gilbeck staying tough, and he'll finish. Count the basket.
And another lob. These two, Aji and Big B, the chemistry is a match. They are doing the most in this second quarter, creating opportunities for the Dreamers.
It seems like the Steelers are trying to take a page out of the Pilots playbook by playing a lot more defensive-minded Chilpotong in there. But he'll see himself out for Little Lou. And Gilbeck completes the three-point play. Still in their zone. Little Lou in the corner. As they don't exactly get the best spacing going on. Captain flying around. Will try the baseline jumper, but it's an air ball.
Yeah, with Gilbeck in the post, the Steelers aren't really seeing any incentive to drive in.
He went down, forces the pass out. As Kenny trying to be Weber, can't do so.
Yeah, right now a lot of pressure is on Jerry, the point guard on the Steelers, trying to make something happen.
Captain Lou this time on a catch and shoot. Calming the waters for the Steelers.
And with that, it's tied up again.
And this time a whistle as they are trying to put the pressure on Aji. Looks like it's going to be on Taiyue. Getting a look at just putting two shooters on the side. A little bit too much for even Doug Creighton to handle. You see an awkward kick ball that the fans reacted to, but there was a foul first. Again, Aji and Gilbeck on the screen and roll. Captain comes down to help. And now they call a foul. Probably going to be on Sun Xiao, and it is. Two hands to the back before the catch.
Yeah, with Gilbeck, little mismatch against Mouse. It's a smart move. Oh, and Wendell Lewis is in for Mouse.
So those were some curious minutes without any import if you're the Steelers. Now, they are lucky to have it tied at 33 apiece. Doug, hand off to Aji. Derek, his turn to screen. Little driving kick as McCullough in the midst. Will cough it up. Little double team in the front court against Little Lou. Eventually they bring it over the timeline. Lou wide open for three. No. A little bit short. That would be an understatement as Doug Creighton will get the reset. 8 minutes to go in the first half. Skip pass, and now it's an offensive foul. It's going to be on Doug Creighton, they say. Or is it? No, it is on 21. Interesting lineup constructions, of course. The Dreamers have a much higher winning percentage with Ilkan Karaman in there, who does lead them in points and rebounds by per game stats.
Yeah, even for the last few plays, Gilbeck has been the one scoring for the Dreamers, and with him off, wondering what the Steelers will do.
Jerry misses the close one, and no match for McCullough's long arms. He dishes it off as Aji tries for three. Lucky bounce as number 11. Good effort there, but
a little athletic movement by the referee there too. little hop over Aji. But Aji with a quick deflection to stop the fast break for the Steelers, though.
He'll get subbed out. Perhaps Aji on a minutes restriction himself. Jamarcus in for the first time on the Steelers side. Little jump pass as Lewis gets it with the left hand. He's been the leading scorer for the Steelers, now up to 10 points. Little side-to-side action for the Dreamers. Kenny getting it back. Floating it up there and over everything, but the Steelers push it out of bounds.
A little over-aggressiveness from teammates, both wanting the rebound.
That's the hustle you like to see, as you see Jamarcus smartly jump passing with no centers down low. Derek from 45, and there's a big miss. Again, the Steelers trying to run, but the Dreamers are doing a pretty good job getting back. Now Lewis trying to make his move with a runner, somehow squeezed it in.
Not easy with big guy with footwork. Outstanding job by Lewis there.
Now McCullough pressured by Jerry. The dribble is picked up, and on the turnaround, a tough one for Brisk. Trying to find that explosive performance on the scoring side if they can is Jamarcus having to get bailed out on the drive.
Just 5 seconds ago.
They zone up on Gokul to Lewis through the hands, and it's the Dreamers on the run. McCullough feeling himself. No. Lucky long rebound, and guess who's up front? It's Captain Lou. He's being too lazy. Not getting back on defense, but a couple cherry pick scores. And the lead is 4 points for the Steelers as the Dreamers now opting for the timeout.
Who would have thought? With Jeremy Lin out, Steelers finding a way.
And the biggest thing to me is their roster construction and their lineup choices. Initially, Tony wanted to go defense, and now he's brought in his guns. The highest scoring game for Chris McCullough this season is 27 points.
其实蛮紧张的，因为第一次打这种比赛，其实自己也比较不满意昨天的表现嘛。那昨天回去有看一下袋子，就是自己沉淀了一下。那豪哥其实回去的时候也有传讯息给我，就问我心态怎么样啊，然后就是有什么心情这样。然后我就跟他说，就没事啊，反正就是我们再一起去拼，一起去打这样。
Chen Yongwei sharing that despite having the poor shooting performance, he was being encouraged by Jeremy through text to check up on the youngster. And he also shared in the extended segment that he and perhaps his teammates a little bit nervous for this really important game. Now, to be fair, especially Chen Yongwei, who's played in high school finals, he's played in collegiate finals. At the pro level, this would be his first time, though he does have the Rookie of the Year Triple Crown, high school, college, and pro, so he's being quite modest and quite truthful with how he feels about the game. Though, what almost always happens once the game gets started, the nerves for those on the court go away.
Yeah. And I love how he mentioned Jeremy Lin encouraged him through text. Yeah, that's what Jeremy Lin does. That's why he's such a good teammate. You know, he's great on the court and off the court.
Hayden gets the pass off. McCullough making a move from the baseline, but touches the side. Awkward up outlet pass as Taishin hangs on. Kind of a broken play as there's finally a whistle. Looks like Doug Creighton caught for
a little football skill here.
At least we'll stop the Steelers and let the Dreamers match up where they want to. So Jamarcus in there, kind of running the point as Captain Lou from a step back. Kind of needed that space. Jeff Wu spinning, putting it up, almost. The Steelers are not making it easy to score around the basket.
Yeah, I say when Wendell Lewis is making it difficult for Big B to get those offensive rebounds like he has been the first quarter.
Little step back move for Jay. Now the lead is 6. DeMarcus was the player that stepped up in Jeremy's place against the Kings for that 50-point game. Ended up getting 10 minutes as there's a foul first as the shot was going up. So this time it's DeMarcus, though, tangled up with McCullough. There you see him putting on the moves. But the other side, you know, he's got a little big of an argument.
Yeah, he was trying to fight through the screen. Actually, at first, I think they were both kind of unsure who the foul is on.
Wearing the neon-colored Kobe's, McCullough again going to the line where he's been living almost this entire game.
Yeah, and McCall, he is doing big for the Dreamers. He's the leading rebounder so far in this game with 10 rebounds.
And so far, 7 for 7 at the line.
Wow, really? Yeah, that's if that was Steelers players, that would not want to foul him.
And Taishin from the corner getting the screen by Captain Lewis. Wendell Lewis was in the mix, but a long ricochet of the basketball to Hayden. Steelers trying to recover as McCullough will get the whistle going to the basket again. The Taishin and Lewis both in there as Gokul and the Taishin trying to plead his innocence, but the call already made. Looking up on the screen, that is 3 personal fouls. Captain Liu going to the bench. In his place, I believe, is Weber.
And let's see if McCall can keep his perfect free throw alive in today's game.
Not so much. He does lead the entire field with 17 points. Only shooting 5 for 15. Of course, based on his injury and based on the fatigue and wear and tear from the game, you wonder if that could go up or that could go down in the later parts of the game. But he can't make the adjustment, and that's an 0 for 2 trip. A horn set for DeMarcus to go to work. Putzing up a wild one.
I think he was falling halfway to the ground before he took that shot. Such quickness from Jay.
They're trying to look McCullough's way, but he's left to the elbow extended, trying to put up moves. A wild shot. There will be a whistle. But having missed 2 free throws previously, maybe the Dreamer strategy is to have McCullough go to work in the first half. There you see the spin move and hands all over him. There was a touch to the elbow by Weber. So Brisk makes the adjustment now. $18 points on his game. The leading scorer for the Steelers is still Wendell Lewis on what is finally our Mandarin lesson on a lucky bounce by McCullough. Is souping.
Oh,
souping literally means to eat pancakes or eat cookies, whichever you choose, but it means for Big to score down low on the assist from their guard. That's a very Taiwan exclusive kind of basketball term. Lewis backing down Gilbeck, and McCullough almost dunked it the wrong way, but it's a miss anyways.
Yes. Would that be a oh my PLG called if it was a putback dunk on your own basket?
No, that would definitely not be an oh my PLG
it's
moment.
Oh no PLG.
That's right. They got the switch, but Brisk passing out of it. Gilbeck making the handoff, trying to go underneath, flipping it up wildly. A chance for the Steelers to run. Clever, kind of maneuvering into some awkward space. Again, it's Wendell Lewis on the block. Back door, Goku gets around Doug Creighton.
Great look, a little vision by Wendell Lewis, seeing Goku cutting in.
Now it's Little Lou's turn to guard McCullough. Though the pass intercepted by Taishin. He averages 2 per game. Down low, Wendell Lewis scores.
Rocks his chest, and the crowd is going crazy.
Another timeout by the Dreamers as they're trying to get the crowd to calm down, but it's only getting stronger and louder in here.
Yeah, Steelers up by 6 with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Wendell Lewis, not the highest scoring in the points league, but right now he's the focal point for the Steelers offense. A couple post-ups and then even beating the long arm Gilbeck down low. You know, being the last regular season game, maybe he can earn himself maybe some Mother's Day cake after the game.
Oh, the Candy Man.
That's right. Though you know what? It's appropriate because he says in his own family, his nickname could be Pooh, as in Winnie the Pooh, and Winnie the Pooh all about that honey. So I can see where it comes from. Though, again, they need to take this W and the 6 points.
They do.
Otherwise, he'd have to do it on his own effort. Well, getting another look at yesterday's graphic, the shooters between Goku Taishin, Captain Liu, and Wang Luxiang in Jeremy Lin's triple doubles. Goku Taishin, the #1 guy, as he was 5 for 9 in that third game, excuse me, and Captain Liu 6 for 9 in the game against the Braves. That was last Saturday. The one player that they really need is Little Liu, Wang Luxiang, both defensively, and if he could knock a couple down like he did yesterday in the early goings to kind of really get the Steelers off to a strong start.
Yeah, and I remember Jeremy Lin posting on social media about his snipers, and on the Steelers, you know, there's several shooters out there, and when they're hot, you know, they can be pretty deadly. And
another steal. Transition 3, but it's airballed as a long rebound somehow saved by the Steelers. Great effort. This time it's Jeff Wu who got a hand on it, but a couple of lost possessions, and immediately the Dreamers going to Achi. So Taishin putting in the work with all these deflections. #3 on the season, averaging 2 per game, but 2.5 per 36. This early 3 kind of clipped off for the shot as Captain Liu off iron. A chance for the Dreamers to get back in it. Achi and Gilbeck together. This time the pass poked away. The Taishin, one man to beat, slows it up, and he's hit in the face by Brisk. He will go to the free throw line. A little bit of momentum for the Steelers continues, though. They're gonna have to earn it the hard way. Don't want to see any other players go down, but you see Goku slow up, and well, there was hand on the basketball, but the follow-through is maybe what the referees also saw.
Yes.
And a hand on the elbow and the wrist. In the end, it's a dangerous result, but for the most part, looks like a common foul to us.
Yeah. And thankfully, Goku seems like it's not that big of an injury. You know?
More subs for the Dreamers as trying to get their best 5 out there.
A few weeks ago, I believe Goku went up and caught a body or dunked on.
He sure did.
Someone. I wasn't sure right there and then if he was going to go up and go for Brisk.
I think this would be a much more difficult task with McCullough having momentum on his side too.
A few inches taller.
Certainly longer wingspan even than the even very tall Omar that we're talking about. Well, after the first miss, Taishin good with the second. The lead 46-39 as we only have a minute and a half to go in the second quarter. It's been a arduous journey for this period. Gilbeck fighting through, and there's the improvement in the patience that he's shown. A lot more in this second time around with the Dreamers. And Taishin guarded by Kenny Chen. They're going down to Lewis. No, Captain Liu driving. Switching sides, there will be a whistle. And Chris McCullough putting his hands out, trying to ask for a little bit of help. Certainly a little bit of explanation. He's got 4 personal fouls.
Yeah, that play kind of reminded me of some grandpa basketball you see out in some outdoor courts. Captain Liu with the experienced footwork, able to draw a foul one-on-one against McCall.
Off to a round of boos even. But they recognize Captain Liu about to shoot these free throws. He's off to the right. Chen Liu on the season was actually in the single digits three-point shooting percentage, but has brought himself all the way up to 33%, though free throw shooting is still a big issue. 12 for 31 coming into this afternoon's game. And made second. A 2-for-1 opportunity. Achi and Gilbeck. Get back to Kenny. After Liu Guanliang. Trying to go to the hole himself and off glass.
Tough basket right there. Great effort.
Plays number 28, Liu Guanliang, with the Dreamers for the first time in a free agency signing. Steelers want to slow it up. There's about a 8-second shot clock to game clock difference. Anyway, not in any hurry, gets another screen. Then out to Taishin, partially blocked, big time block. And with 6 seconds to go, the Dreamers can cut it down even more. Liu Guanliang will go again, but this time off the left side as time will expire. A huge sequence by number 28 and a 4-point swing for the Dreamers. They can't celebrate too early for either side.
That's right.
It's a 2-point Steelers lead as the first half is in the books. And the showdown is now coming down to 24 minutes in the second half. The Steelers now without Jeremy Lin until further updates. Need the victory, need a win by 6 to make it to the Plus League playoffs in team history. We'll be going to halftime, so take a break and we'll be back.
那首先跟大家分享一下如何参加抽奖好吗？拿出你的手机，扫描上面的2个大大的 QR code， 下载我们的17直播。注册完成之后呢，要进入我们雄青福利社的直播间。只要进我们直播间，然后等一下刷我们的关键字，还有投票就可以参加抽奖。那我们先跟大家分享一下，我们今天刷的关键字留言可以抽到什么好礼呢？首先公布我们的第1大奖，就是我们的5000块奖金，没有错。昨天已经有球迷朋友抱回家了，今天一样送奖金让你带回家。5000块的奖金是我们今天的第1大奖，所以赶快手机拿出来，下载17直播，进入我们雄青福利社的直播间。再来，我们今天的第2大奖是什么呢？来给大家看一下，是我们的书豪 Soft Strong 的连帽背心。有喜欢书豪的球迷朋友们，又喜欢这个连帽背心的球迷朋友们，千万不要错过了！只要有刷留言，就有机会获得我们这个连帽背心。再来，我们今天第3个奖品是什么呢？就是我们的艾恩，还有我们的17宝宝钢铁人联名的白色 T 恤，也是一样很好看。所以有喜欢的球迷朋友，千万不要错过了，赶快趁现在拿出你的手机下载17直播。那我们今天关键字要写什么呢？我们有请我们的买家跟大家公布一下我们的关键字。
好的，我们今天的关键字呢非常简单，就是我们的主题周的名字 铁定有你加上什么区、什么牌、什么号，就是你座位的什么区、什么牌、什么号。再重复一次，我们主题日，铁定有你加上什么区、什么牌、什么号。
没有错，所以现在就可以把关键字开始刷起来，复制贴上很简单的。那有人跟我说怎么办？我刷的不够快，没有关系，手机打横上面有投票的选项，只要帮我小额储值33块钱，投任何一个选项，投任何一票都可以抽奖。我们今天抽什么？给大家看一下我们今天投票的抽奖奖品哦。是我们大家非常 popular 的铁米亲笔签名的应援毛巾，来给大家看一下我们铁米亲笔签名的应援毛巾，还有我们帅气的买家帮我秀一下，耶！有没有喜欢铁米的朋友们？现在就可以赶快把手机打横投票啦。OK， 那我们在抽我们今天关键字的得主之前，我们先请买家来带我们玩好玩的中场游戏。
好的，我们中场小游戏非常的简单，我们3位参赛者就位了吗？好了，来依序来到我们场中央。好的，哇，这2位看起来活力十足哈。
It's halftime here in Formosa Stadium. The last game of the season for both teams. And tonight will be the last game for the Braves and the Lioneers, but in Hsinchu, with the Braves already set for their second place regular season finish, and the Lioneers, unfortunately, will be ending their season as the 6th place team. Kyle Zhongkai and Taishin on the Mandarin broadcast, Ryan Chen and Liao on the English commentary side. The biggest note, if you're just tuning in, the Jeremy Lin-led Steelers will presumably be without Jeremy as he, in the early first minute, in fact, of the second quarter, took the unintentional elbow to the face and had a hard fall. So not likely that he'll be back for the rest of the game, though the Steelers have not ruled it out exactly, but it's certainly a tough blow to the team, though they've been hanging in there pretty good. 47-45 as we present the team stats. One of the biggest things that stands out to me, the three-point shooting for both teams, not all that crazy high, so you can imagine the legs on the defensive side really doing their best to thwart any defensive efforts. The Dreamers have settled into a 2-3 zone, and the Steelers already with 8 steals in the first half. They only average 8 per game on the season, so they've been very aggressive denying the Dreamers on these passes, and probably even more so without Jeremy to play on the help side.
Yeah, a big thing for the Steelers is, you know, without Jeremy Lin, what are you going to do defensively and offensively? Gilbeck has been such a big threat for the Steelers, and from what we've seen, Wendell Lewis is kind of the answer for Steelers in the first half, without Jeremy Lin being an effective defender and being a flow for offense on that side.
Well, we'll bring you the leading scorers in the next segment, but indeed, Wendell Lewis, we introduced the term "sibing," either the target of the Steelers' primary option now, or maybe even occasional pass, or even setting up down low and transition. He's becoming a problem that initially might not have been on the scouting report, but Wendell Lewis is right now the leading guy for the Steelers, really on both ends of the floor. He's somebody that the Dreamers kind of need to scheme around in the second half. And both teams, for certain, want to get to running. You see the huge dunk by Gilbeck, and Lu Guanliang a couple times to end the half. Also a couple fast break scores. Transition will be the key for both teams if they can get it in the second half.
Yeah, and they really want it. Lu Guanliang really going all out in the last 30 seconds, going back-to-back buckets and bring the deficit down to 2.
We got another break before leading scorers after these messages.
看到年纪大了哦，我们知道这个社会是怎么运作的哦，拿的洋芋片就会变多了。来，准备好了吗？倒数3、2、1，出发上篮！好的，运球回到场中央，哇！ 速度都非常的快，哇！一边掉球了，好，上篮成功就可以回来了，哇！哦，好，非常好，完全没有在听规则，好，没有关系， 好，我们这一组的获胜者，在我的右手边穿着白衣服的这位帅哥，哦，手上还拿了7盒洋芋片，恭喜你！好的，好，我们还有最后一位，好，我们最后一位参赛者一样啦，来，王书豪的铁粉，来，2位参加过的旁边稍等一下，刚有听清楚规则吗？完全没有，没有关系，我再讲一次好不好？来，不管你要用哪一只手运球都可以，另外一只手抱着洋芋片，不管你要抱多少都可以，抱在手上，从圆圈出发去上篮。 回来之后呢，上篮要成功哦。回来之后，你手上还有多少洋芋片都可以带回家，就是这么简单。准备好了吗？来，请开始拿洋芋片。好，还要选口味哈，混搭一下。好，准备好的话，倒数3，完了，我们往那边去哈，往那边去。来，倒数3、2、1，开始。哇，第一次就上进来，运球回到场中央。 恭喜你完成任务！来，以上4盒洋芋片让你直接带回家。好的，哎，要邀请我们的所有小参赛者拍照，不用，好，没有关系。来，好，恭喜我们最后一位参赛者。好，谢谢，可以回座休息了，恭喜你。接下来把场中央的时间继续交给我们最美丽的主持人小毒药。
耶，谢谢我们买家带我们玩这么好玩的中场游戏。 我们现在最关键的时刻就要抽出我们今天刷留言的好礼啦！再跟大家复习一下，趁现在你们赶快进入我们胸轻福利社的直播间，刷我们的关键字，铁定有你，加上你的座位，什么区、什么牌、什么号。我们今天的奖品再跟大家复习一下。 第一大奖是我们的5000块的奖金，让你带回家。第二奖呢是我们的书豪的联名背心的连帽 T 恤。有喜欢的朋友一样，赶快让你刷留言关键字，再复习一下关键字叫什么？铁定有你加你的座位，什么区、什么牌、什么号。再来第3个礼物呢，就是我们的艾恩还有17宝宝钢铁人联名的白色 T 恤。 以上就是我们今天3个刷留言要送的大奖，准备好了吗？我们要来准备，在倒数10秒钟，我们要来截图喽。好，我们要来准备倒数了，5、4、3、2。
Plus 球迷 Oh My Basketball 是我本人在 Ivy Bar 学英文吧，教你的篮球英文术语，搭配了 Plus 的影片，打造全新的 线上课程，欢迎大家在资讯栏里面点连结一起学习。So even some of the Dreamers cheerleaders snagged themselves some tickets to get into the arena and try to cheer on the road team to the victory and at least not losing by more than 6 to get the tiebreaker to go to the playoffs. As we present you the leading scorers, starting with the Dreamers, Chris McCullough with 19, Brandon Gilbeck with 11, Lu Guanliang and Wu Jiazhun getting the starts with 4 points and 3 points respectively, and even Jeff Wu hit a 3 in the first half. But for the Dreamers and the Steelers, a couple of threes going in would be huge for both teams' confidence, and they could really use some of those big momentum swings on their side. But in the first half, like we mentioned, getting a run in transition, McCullough, whether he would score himself or at least get a foul out of the trip, was big for the Dreamers, though I wonder how much they can get out of it in the second half, with the Steelers starting to do a little bit better job guarding number 5 in the post-up.
Yeah, as we said, like you said, when Wendell Lewis is in, we see that number 5 did not have that efficient of a time inside the paint. But we're gonna see what the Steelers are gonna bring.
On the other side, Wendell Lewis with 14, Captain Liu Zhenlu, who's been a decent shot from outside with 11 points. And the Steelers, on their side, they also want to get to running, but the Dreamers have done a good job, unless it's Captain Liu leaking out for some cherry-picked points. And of course, looking Wendell Lewis's way, who's so strong, he's too hard to body, even for Brandon Gilbeck sometimes in there, and kind of helps when you get a lucky running basket like that. Well, Wendell Lewis, presumably we'll see a lot of him in the second half too. He's going to be the focal point for the offensive and defensive game plan for the Steelers, especially with Gilbeck in there.
Yeah, and something to look for is, you know, Lewis having played yesterday, what his fatigue level would look like. You know, playing back-to-back game is never easy, and I could imagine he's kind of tired today too. So this second half, we'll see how much cardio he has in him.
3 minutes to go before the start of the second half.
好的，现场的雄亲，请注意到我们这边一下。目前呢，我们高雄凤山主场有参与我们的联盟所举办的年度最佳主场的投票活动，邀请现场的所有雄亲们呢，可以把这一票珍贵的一票年度最佳主场投给凤山体育馆。大家可以在大荧幕上面看到我们的 QR code， 直接扫描就可以开始进行投票。那年度啦啦队的部分呢，请千万要支持钢铁女神雅典娜，钢铁女神雅典娜。各位雄亲可以拿起你的手机来拍拍我们的 QR code， 然后把年度主场投给凤山体育馆，年度啦啦队投给钢铁女神雅典娜。谢谢各位雄亲。下半场比赛即将开始，再次邀请太鼓达人 Tony 带领雄亲们击鼓。雄亲们来！
And right now we are beginning our third quarter. This matchup, Steelers are up by 2. Hayden brings the ball up. Checking out for Liu. Gilbeck fouled by Captain Liu. Captain Liu trying to call for a travel move by Big B. Not sure if the ref is going to buy it. The sidelines, Coach Tony from the Steelers trying to explain it to the referees. Not happy with the call. Two shots for Gilbeck. Misses his first. And knocks down the second. Unfazed by the noise in the stands. Jerry gets a Goku, gets it to Wendell, gets it back in, could not find a pass. And wow, Wow, tough finish by Kenny. Kenny hoping that there was a foul there.
现场呢会看到我们大口吃寿司 Cam 的活动，来自真鲜 Plus 所提供。所以呢，被我们导播 take 到的雄亲们，记得张大你的嘴巴，大口的吃寿司。好的，我们稍待会再提供一次我们的寿司 cam 给现场的雄亲们。现在，请大家可以扫描一下大荧幕，投给年度最佳主场凤山体育馆年度啦啦队钢铁女神雅典娜。
We're back to the action. Did I miss anything, Paul?
Not much, but Dreamers definitely took advantage in those 30 seconds, and they're up by 1 now.
So in total, if I'm doing my math correctly, that's at least a 7-0 run by the Dreamers across the halftime, which is an interesting situation. And again, more zone defense by the Dreamers, this time with Taishin at the top. Now the Dreamers revolve into a little bit of a matchup. Lucilu's in the middle. Short with that shot, as he is the leading local scorer, but Chris McCullough, first off, leaves it short. Was a really high usage player in the first half, as Gilbeck swats that one out.
Swatted out.
Look out for the camera person in the corner. A fair foul for them. You know, look, taking on Hayden, but Gilbeck too easy. Will be leading the league in block shots, at least 2.89 coming into today. Lu, mid-range shot before, now baseline deflected by Kenny. And it's Taishin at least getting the whistle out of it. And finally, a decent chance for the Steelers in this half.
Yeah, and I guess with both teams observing their three-point percentage, both teams starting this quarter they're both attacking the rim a lot more and hoping to score in that way.
Tied up at 48. As the ball bouncing out.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think the Dreamers cheering section brought their own horns to the Kaohsiung Stadium here in Formosa. And it seems like it's been working.
A little bit, as that one blocked out of bounds, they say. So the referees are going to come together and talk it over. No, it's going to stay with the Dreamers. So the Taishin will give himself credit for the block. Lu Guanliang on the curl, but they say he was out of bounds. So the first worry, I'm sure, if you're the Dreamers, you're worried if it was going to be a Gilbeck illegal screen, but not the case. He has 2 personal, and that was not a foul, just an out of bounds. Now manned up. Switching everything as Captain gets a corner shot going, again short. Got a feeling like his legs are not all the way underneath him. And he almost had that one intercepted by Taishin.
Yeah, Taishin always expecting, trying to anticipate the passes.
McCullough down the middle. A dribble move on Captain Lu.
Yeah, McCall on this end trying to tell the ref there's a little push on him. But great shot by McCall.
Tailway floats it up. A good answer from number 4. Tailway only has 4 points on the game. Now it's the Steelers kind of with a little bit of a zone look themselves. McCullough feeling himself. That's 2 in a row.
Yeah, Steelers have to find a way. If Wendell Lewis is on Big B, they got to put a lot more effort on Brisk here as he got 4 points.
But a 2-point conversion on the curl play there. The Taishin to Lewis. You can imagine they might pair up a lot in the second half. That's a good option for the Steelers as Gilbeck thought about it. Now we'll launch from 3, too strong. Well, he gave it a good attempt. And on the season, Gilbeck is not a 0% three-point shooter, 3 for 13 before today.
So one-on-one action.
Wendell Lewis going to the right hand, but blocked. He thought he was contact, but in the face of Gilbeck, not easy. Now Kenny looking with the screen to Hayden in the corner, 36% on the season, but halfway down out there, it's Brisk. He will get a rebounding foul against the Steelers. So putting in some work, and still not an easy task. He might want to play small forward, but as the power forward, not easy to match up for as the Steelers, especially if they're not really going to play mouse in there. You see beating the Taishin. He now found himself on the bench. His free throw is in. As we mentioned in the first half, his high on the season, 27 points. And he's looking to surpass that number already with 24. We'll get the lucky bounce. Doway's in for Gilbeck. McCullough took 18 free throws against the Pilots back on April 9th. The first of 3 games he played against them. Scored 24 in that game. Back to the action. Dreamers up by 1 on the game. And they're looking right away to Lewis. But Doway says no the first time.
A pretty good defensive effort by Doway there, as you know, Wendell Lewis has been so effective, and for Dreamers, you're gonna see if Doway can kind of stop Lewis.
To Weber from the corner, he lets it fly, no. As the Dreamers collect the rebound. The stadium DJ trying to figure out what song he's choosing. Kenny Chen, a hook pass out to Hayden, a dribble in, and a bucket. Number 3, giving the Dreamers the 3-point lead.
Yeah, for Steelers, you just can't have someone open like that. And Hayden, obviously, with a wide open shot, making it at the free throw line.
Captain Lou asking for the ISO. Look at Jerry on the baseline, getting McCullough in the air. That'll be 5. He's trying to keep himself in the game, but I don't think he's going to win the argument with Coach Eric.
Can't argue with the rules. And I would say that's a pretty impressive feat with his time in the game. With double-double.
He's trying to play the help defense, but leapers will leap, as they say.
And Jerry, we've seen many times, he's pretty familiar in the post for a guard. Got some footwork and some moves in his tool belt.
Averages 9.3 points per game on the season. First free throw is in. Only a 65% free throw shooter this season. If we look back to last season, Taishin in his all-plus league first-team selection, was a 73% free throw shooter. He's got a long way to make up that margin, but the game on hand, as JaMarcus switched on to Doway.
Little mismatch there, and the Dreamers taking advantage of it.
Little pass out of Jeff Wu, wide open. He doesn't miss. Number 14 with a big corner shot made.
A great teamwork there by the Dreamers. Collapsing Steelers defense, leaving 14 out Dreamers for a beautiful three-point shot.
Wendell Lewis getting the feed from the Taishin. What did I say? Those two working together on a side. The Steelers rotate their defense and match up as Jeff Wu tries another one. Wow! That's 2 in a row for number 14. Big baskets when the Dreamers need it.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth.
Feeling himself, but again, short as Weber got a second chance, but a careless pass by Lewis. They're going down the floor real quick. Spacing it out. Dreamers up by 5. Stump pass over the head of Doway.
Not sure if Doway was ready for that either.
Weber through contact off the backboard. And Uruguay now trying to get a foul out of it, but the offense was getting out of the way, so no call there. Jeff Wu trying to make it 3 in a row, but it's woefully short. And now it's JaMarcus on the run. With a split play as Lewis is looking for some help. JaMarcus trying to answer back. Lucky rebound to Hayden, but he turns it over on the double dribble. Don't see that very often.
Yeah, not often at all. And that comes from the hustle play by Weber, who tries to get the second chance opportunity off that offensive board.
Here's some kind of risky minutes. Brandon Gilbeck and Mouse coming in to get for their respective teams, I should say, not exactly together.
And this is a tough matchup for Steelers, as we kind of saw in the second quarter between Gilbeck and Mouse. And it's a slight easier matchup for Gilbeck. We'll see if the Dreamers take advantage of that as they go in a zone defense here.
Down low, nice find by Jay to Weber. The Steelers, who have a quick answer for the Dreamers zone this time, with very different personnel.
Both teams going into a 2-3 zone here.
All local lineup for the Steelers as Creighton, one dribble pull-up. Would have been a tough one as Jerry comes crashing in but loses it. Jeff Wu in the right spot. Second chance for the Dreamers as they swing it. Creighton another try, but that one's off. And another chance, it's the third.
Third chance.
So Jeff was way deep. And this time the Steelers finally, and a little bit dramatically, get the rebound on the baseline. Aaron pass though as they turn it over right away, 3-on-2. Jeff Wu down to Gilbeck, nice find and a nice answer by the Dreamers. Finally putting the ball in the hole.
Yeah, both teams are playing smart defensively. However, Steelers are not getting their rebounds and not cleaning it up, giving Dreamers a lot of chance.
Little jump pass to Little Lou in the corner, overshoots it. That stroke is way off right now. Kenny getting the screen, though there's a whistle and the illegal screen, they say. So just like that, Wendell Lewis, Captain Lou, and Gokul Natason coming in together. As you see, Gilbeck also put his left foot on Jerry. So the illegal screen, they say. It's Gilbeck's third personal, third team foul as well.
And I wonder if the Steelers are going to continue with their 2-3 zone, as as we can see, both teams are not that hot out at the arc, and what they could do is protect the rim with that zone defense.
Looks like Jeff Wu was a little bit too handsy with Captain Liu, and that's their 4th-team foul. They did have one to give, you could say, but 3:13 left in the quarter. It's kind of gone relatively quickly. On the quarter, the Steelers are 0 for 5 shooting the 3. Taishin on the down screen. Gilbeck switching back onto Lewis. Driving kick action, the captain launching it. And that's 0 for 6 for the home team. Meanwhile, the Dreamers 2 for 10. But Achi's in there. Jeff Wu falling and crashing, but they say travel. A little bit awkward looking. But a dead ball turnover by the Dreamers. Not had the best flow themselves. Get another look at the gather step. 1, 2. Ah, they say no, it was a travel. Yeah. Well, it was a missed shot anyways, so.
And that is kind of like the purpose of a zone defense, hoping to stop teams from cutting into the heart.
Dreamers back in man. Gilbeck guarding Little Lou as Weber will go to the cup, avoiding the blocks. Wendell Lewis will be down low. I think he's fouled by Kenny Chen. Eventually, though, obviously everyone had their eyes focused on Gilbeck and Weber going down.
Not happy.
So the Steelers will get free throws on the end of that. But getting a look, there's plenty of contact down low that Weber definitely wanted out of it.
Yeah, I can see the frustration there. After shot, big contact by Big B.
So it's Lewis who will step up to the line. On the game, no free throw attempts yet to this one. Now, if you're looking at the season stats, if that was a better or worse trade-off, Tomboy now with number 77, 8 for 15 or 53%. Wendell Lewis, 12 for 15. So I would say, oh no, the free throw missed though. So on paper, not a horrible trade-off.
Not too bad.
But only a 1 for 2, 1-point trip. Dreamers still up by 2. Aji switched on, but Doug hesitates, now fires, and it's swished through.
And that's a Doug that could pop out anywhere. For 3, he's such a good shooter. The Steelers do have to watch out for him.
Little Lou out to Weber. They finally get it down to Lewis. Trying to go to the middle. Picking up the dribble. And Taiyuan counters with a 3 right back. They really needed that 3. Aji going quickly, and eventually they call a foul on Little Lou. Steelers did have fouls to give. Kind of throwing off Aji for a loop, but looks like Wang Liuxiang took a little bit of a hit too.
Yeah, we'll have to get a replay on that. Not quite sure what happened there between Liu and Aji. And Aji, you know, he's such a quick one. It's kind of hard to guard him sometimes. Great move. Oh.
Couple elbows in the mix
shoulder
there.
To the head, possibly, or head to head. Collision.
Aji will stay in, and Little Lou also in. There's a big skip pass. Finally, they get it down to Gilbeck. He rifles it over the shoulder of Aji and out of bounds. So an unforced turnover, you could say, to borrow some tennis terms. To the Dreamers' credit, they have, on their 3-game winning streak, beaten 3 playoff-bound teams. The Braves and Pilots 2 weeks ago at home in a really needed homestand, and then the Kings last week.
Yeah, and so that was a big confidence booster for Dreamers.
So we're running out of time. Captain Luke gets it up and off glass.
And it counts.
A little generous Mother's Day bounce. A minute left in the third quarter. Doug, his former teammate, can't get the answer, but Gilbeck saves the Dreamers at another possession.
A little mismatch inside, but Captain Liu came to help.
Out of bounds.
Still Dreamers ball.
Get another look. Thought he was out of time, and Kenny probably thought so too, but before the red lights came on, Liu also smartly got his foot behind the line too. There's a little bit of fine detail.
Wow, bank is open for Captain Liu.
Gilbeck, realizing the time was running out, at least got a shot on target.
Steelers trying to be patient, make the most out of the last few seconds.
I want to set something up with a horn set. Playing away. Still probing, firing it out to Little Liu. His three, yes!
Sensational shot.
Almost a broken play, but now the Steelers find themselves up by 4. It's the Dreamers' turn. Gonna run down the clock. Aji going right into some space. He's tied up. A hard foul by Liu, and a bit of a frustration by Aji shown.
And Captain Liu admits it. It is a smart foul. Thankfully, no one got injured.
Yeah, he did commit a hard foul against Johnson the last week, which got him in a little bit of trouble. Just a common foul this time and that time too, but that is a dangerous play that I have to say deserves of criticism. You could just reach your hand in there. You don't need to get the shoulder involved too.
That's right.
3 seconds left. Doug to Aji. He'll try from 3, and ooh, it swirls out. So a very big swing either way going in the game as they put 12 minutes on the clock. The final stretch before the end of this one final period in game of 119 here in the Plus League season.
CL of 21. It's been a long time coming, but we're here now.
Oh my God！ 再一次掌声还有尖叫声，感谢钢铁女神雅典娜，谢谢他们。第4节比赛即将开始，再次邀请太鼓达人 Tony 带领现场的雄青做最后一次的击鼓。
Game 1 to game of 120, last year's finals matchup of the Hsinchu Gecko Lioneers against the Taipei Fubon Braves coming tonight. But first off, we need to settle things here in Fengshan Stadium with Liu Zhenlu hit a lucky bank shot 3, maybe. I don't know if I heard him say bank, and then Little Liu finally frantically gathering himself, making a 3 in a big swing. Just like we said, the Dreamers had a 4-point run and a 3-point run to start the second half. But it was the Steelers with a couple huge buckets.
Yeah, way to finish that quarter with some big threes, big run.
But out of bounds, and then a stop for the Dreamers.
Yeah, with those threes being made, I wonder if the Steelers or even Dreamers will start shooting some threes despite the overall percentage being under 30 for both teams in the three-point shooting section.
Little Luke gambles a little bit, now backs off as Creighton. Hand off back from Gilbeck. He tries again, but that one around the world and out. Don't want to see number 21 get out. DeMarcus clutching in the air. Will get his own board back, out muscling Gilbeck. Wow. Oh no, literally Wang Lushan got his own board back in a frantic scramble. Now the Steelers reset.
Can't believe it. Jay just out-rebounded Gilbeck.
Now it's missing from close. You can give credit for Creighton come crashing down on the play. Aji probing, now waiting for the screen. Down to Gilbeck, but they say a travel. That seems quite early to be making that. We'll have to see it on the replay if he caught it with one hand on already.
Yeah, Aji quite frustrated with that. Aji and Gilbeck has been such a big combo and duel in this game.
And a foul early. Aji is only his first personal. DeMarcus having his space a little bit closed down by Aji. So Aji will stick with it. 19 fouls apiece on the game as Gokul and Taishin trying to shake free of Kenny Chen. Another board for Gilbeck. One positive and negative though with McCullough's fifth foul. Maybe he can gather himself and rest up when called upon. Aji from behind will hang on, but it was DeMarcus who poked it loose.
It seems like Weber was trying to save that ball from going out. Could not get there in time.
And here comes McCullough and Adoway. But the boos coming down from the around the arena. Well, thinking about all the Plus League buildings, Formosa is the only stadium where the corners face the court and it's not a rectangle.
Oh.
So good views even from the corners. Down low to Adoway with Taishin guarding. The help comes that he's poked away as Cho Bo-zang will eventually pick up the basketball. But a wild pass out of bounds and
into the stands.
Once again, you can imagine nervousness on the Steelers coaching side. They want their defensive guy in there, but you don't want him to cost you it too.
For sure, with so much on the line and 10 minutes left in the game, everyone's doing this what they can.
Gilbeck with an offensive board. Doug will fire away, but overshoots it. Creighton trying to find the range now. Taishin can't find through Adoway. Getting it back from the corner, no, and Mouse right there, he puts it back in.
A little sneaky movement there by Mouse over there. Offensive rebound and great putback. Just what the Steelers need.
Kenny Chen trying to stumble through and somehow getting the roll. Not had the best of luck, Kenny Chen driving to the basket. He does have 6 points now. As DeMarcus sweeps through with a right-handed reverse.
Phenomenal drive.
Getting through everybody.
So athletic. Jay never ceases to amaze me. So quick with the ball.
As Chris McCullough clutching, he'll at least get free throws. Trying to put an aggressive move on the Steelers defense. Another chance to hear from the home fans. We see Aji getting beat and McCullough only flashing the help, but stepping out of the way as you see him taking on Mouse. It was a little bit late. The referees kind of sorting things out. And they're ready to go. McCullough, another free throw made. 25 points on the game. He's never played the Steelers in 14 games until today. Calmly sinks 2 of 2.
Yeah, we said a little bit before the game that McCullough is kind of unknown for Steelers. And now today, I feel like the Steelers, he has made himself known to the Steelers.
Cho Bo-dang avoids the defense, but then blows the shot down. But Wendell Lewis picks him up.
A little hot potato there between Po-dang and Wendell Lewis.
They don't get away, though, with a stop, as it looks like Jamarcus will be called for the foul, as Aji making a move. But that's the second time Cho Bo-dang's almost cost them on the offensive end. There you see the lucky ricochet.
Pop and in.
No, that is a real hot potato.
Yeah,
good call. Only one hand on it. Just a little love tap.
And Gilbig back in the game.
Aji bouncing up and down as the free throw was true. He is the best streamers at the line, 81% on the season. He's also the best three-point shooter at 38.6%. The stud from Manto gets 2 and brings the game within 4. Little out to capture. Yes! Woo! The best looking 3 all game as the ball getting away. A chance for the fans to savor.
A lot of physicality there by both teams. Captain Liu running into Aji, causing a foul. Right there, let's look at it again. Captain Liu.
Missing an assignment was his former teammate in Lu Guanliang, back on the Yulong Didos, but there you see trying to sneak in there, but nope. Referee's on top of it. Initially, it looked like McCullough was trying to get into the game, but maybe Eric thought differently. Deep shot by Chen, halfway down and out, as this time Wendell Lewis snags it. It's a handoff game. Liu Zhenlu firing away. Was close. Aji, nobody checks him, and there's a beautiful 3 by number 11.
Oh, Jay with a athletic gymnastic move. Getting off the ground.
The score table couldn't get the horn going, and so now they get the 2 teams to the benches, but seems like there's actually a clock issue going on. And so the 2 teams will have maybe a little bit of bonus stoppage.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are finding their way outside the arc, finding their touch back from the not so good 3-point percentage in the previous times in this game.
Well, Aji previously set the local player individual game scoring high all the way back in the first season. I remember it was against the Braves, 39 points, but that mark
39
only true
points.
if you count all local players. Of course, Jeremy tying Simbular's 50 points from import player to overseas Chinese. But now if you say non-import players, yes, it's Jeremy with the new mark.
Yeah, pretty incredible feat by Jeremy Lin. As we see these games, it's actually not an easy task for players at this level and this competitiveness to get to 50 points. Jay with a little split action there.
But it's Kenny Chen who looks like will get a turnover out of the jump ball, playing aggressively. And it looks like a little bit of slippery floor there was the main issue. As you might hear by your parents, as it is Mother's Day, a little booing guy. It's your own home arena. How can the slips work against you? 79 to 75. Gilbeck at the high post. As Aji loses the handle on it, he's on top of it, right to Lu Guanliang. A little bit of open, clutching, putting it on target, but the Dreamers could not get it off as it's Jay and Gilbeck on the floor. Lu Guanliang's wide open for three, and there's a buttered, beautiful made three. And again, the whistle from the table, but this time it's a timeout. As the Steelers so close to getting the turnover, but to no avail. That's our first stoppage officially of the fourth quarter. We have these messages for you, but for the rest of the action after this.
Don't get it twisted.
想要 T 恤的雄心们在哪里？感谢各位雄心。
Classic Linsanity shirt somewhere in the stands in the blue section, which is on the visitor side of the building, if you could say.
Yeah, and although Jeremy Lin is out, I would say his presence is felt in here. He's made this team what it is now, and even without him, you know, I think the team has figured out a system and a way of movement. And Jeremy Lin's really elevated this team, the Steelers, to another level, and we'll see if they can get this win without Jeremy Lin himself.
Out to Little Lou, but he's driving. Had that contacted on the elbow. Looks like it's Aji who's trying to stick with the play, but will commit the foul instead. What do you think was said by Tony to the team? As we mentioned in that last possession, they almost had the takeaway, but
yeah,
just ball slipped out to Lu Guanliang, or pass to Lu Guanliang, really. It was open for three and took advantage.
Yeah, there were so many hustle plays there, people getting on the floor. However, you cannot ease up if no one has possession yet. You still have to fight for the ball, and you cannot stop until you have possession.
Only a 1-for-2 trip for Little Lou, as Jerry Chen Yongwei is also in there. Less than 6.5 to go. Dreamers running a pick and roll on one side. The two former Yulong teammates. Over to Aji and Gilbeck. They'll try. Kenny right back to number 11. He lets it fly and in.
And that's the same spot he knocked down a few minutes before. The Steelers will have to watch out for that, as Aji's hot.
3 for 6 on the quarter are the Dreamers. Liu Zhenlu, guarded by his former teammate in it. Jerry going back towards Jerry, though, snotted out of the bounds, right to the even occupied a camera stand,
out of the front row. So we got Sho Otani in the house, swatting the ball far away.
Too easy, as Brandon Gilbeck picking up another block shot.
Ooh.
He's got 4 on the game. Wendell Lewis, the 3 goes up as Kenny Chen held position. Quickly down the floor. Aji not giving them any respite. Interception by Captain. Here come the Steelers down the left side. Looking for Lewis early. Finally getting it to him to the other side. He avoids Gilbeck for the reverse lay-in. Steelers back up by 1.
Not an easy shot by Wendell.
But a foul as Toyowe kind of gambled there. And a little bit nervous time if you're the Steelers. 14 fouls on the quarter. No, look, the kind of wayward pass actually created an opportunity for Lewis. And it looks like they're going to give Liu Zhenlu a breather. Weber taking his place. Jerry trying to stick with Achi. Slip past the Gilbeck. He'll get the foul out of Weber coming in to help.
A similar play to what we saw in first quarter when Weber came to help. But Gilbeck's a little too strong for Weber.
Coming in there just a little bit late. So 5:05 left. The Dreamers will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Gilbeck stepping up to the charity stripe.
Yeah, with the...
Now 15 points after that make. Chris McCullough waiting on the seat next to the scorer's table.
A chance to get into the lead here. Big B. Oh, drumming efforts by the drummer here in the Kaohsiung Stadium. Could not distract Gilbeck enough as he knocks down the second shot. The crowds do not like McCullough here in Formosa.
Dreamers up by 1 as Wendell Lewis trying to get underneath. DeMarcus takes a bump but gets the pass off as Little Lou again missing. Steelers don't go right away until Weber gets around McCullough but blows the layup up close. They get the pass off as Chris, 2-footed layup, and he will miss, but Little Lou could not get his hands on securely. So the Dreamers with another possession. There's a frantic and maybe not the most artistic basketball going on. McCullough flying around Jerry almost on both sides or either side.
In some way, I thought he was gonna go up there and dunk that ball. Sometimes it is easier to dunk the ball. You can go that high. Little safety pass.
Way out deep to Dobotan as Chris aims one up, but one bouncing out. Had Wendell Lewis cross matchup, and those two will guard each other on this side too. They're trying to feed the big man. And McCullough staying in the play, gets the steal. Here come the Dreamers, Aji. Atalupan down, not slowing down as McCullough from close. Another basket for the Dreamers.
Like Steelers could not get back on defense and find a way to stop the Dreamers here, but
Wendell Lewis taking a couple dribbles too many. Another turnover as Kenny Chen trying to go with power. He'll get a foul out of it, and right now, everything that was working in the first half, getting it down to Lewis, is now turning into the Achilles heel of the Steelers.
Absolutely, we're seeing Brisk playing tough defense on Lewis, sealing him off, preventing post feeds down to Wendell Lewis, and making it really hard for the big man for the Steelers. So now they have Mouse in.
Again, all local lineup for the Steelers. Not only do they need the win, they need to win by 6 to go into the Plus League playoffs. Dreamers +5 in their head-to-head this season.
Kenny complaining, well, saying that the ball is slightly wet.
maybe had a little bit of effect. He put a little extra arc on that free throw. 20 for 28 are the Dreamers as referee thinks it's all right. Quick motion and a dropped in free throw for Kenny Chen. He'll go off for Jeff Wu. And there comes Taishin in for JaMarcus. But now it's Taishin trying to call up a play. They might be running pistol on this side.
Yeah, with Taishin and Captain Liu in, we should be expecting some perimeter shots, but they could not get the pass to go.
Another steal. Chris McCullough doing it onto the defensive end too.
20 turnovers, both teams.
Slowing it way down. McCullough spins and finally puts it up. Steelers force a miss and a chance for them to run. Liu putting it on the dribble and a big bucket.
Baby.
They really needed that one.
Yes, they do.
Now there's a timeout on the floor. Not sure who it's by.
Captain Liu.
He needed that one big time. Finally going into the huddles, but a fatigued Steelers team. Let's see if they can do it.
3 minutes left. Great pass by Gokul. Nice pump fake.
He's done this a couple of times. So Liu.
Yeah, putting 14 on a popcorn machine there. It is a movie here today.
Now 20 points on the game, 5 of 11 shooting the three. Besides Wang Yuxiang's 2 for 7, the only 2 Steelers with multiple three-pointers made. On the Dreamer side, Aji's joined the party with 11 points now. In fact, funny enough, 8 of them coming in the second half. You see Liu, despite the last game of the season, taking his spots and scoring when the Steelers really need it. Right now, find themselves down by 1, so basically -7 on the season, you could think of it.
Yeah, as you said before, not only do the Steelers have to get a win, but they gotta get 6 points ahead of Dreamers, and they're looking to shooting more shots from the arc. They're in desperation for Gokul and Captain Liu to make that plan happen.
Aji maneuvering around will get a foul. Not exactly a good result for the Steelers defense. Captain Liu with his 4th foul, so with less than 3 minutes to go, not in serious trouble, but
they are
pay attention.
They're in bonus right now, so Steelers really have to keep their hands up in defense, or else it's gonna be free throws for the Dreamers here.
Aji too strong with the first. As you said before, 81% on the season. G is also an 18 point per game scorer off the bench. Even more lethal than when he starts. He makes the adjustment.
And Jay coming in for Captain Liu, as they give Captain Liu some break.
Given space as they're looking for Mouse down low. They swing it around. Turning away, high off glass. No, Mouse back there to pick up his teammate, and it's tied again.
And just like that, tied game. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Steelers looking to make a stop here.
They really need it as Aji, wild with the dribble, throws it into McCullough at the top. Waiting for the handoff and waiting the screen. Jeff Wu with a little space, floating to what's left. Almost.
Steeler pushing the ball quickly.
Taiyue trying to get the team organized. They spaced it out for Jamarcus. Going on Jerry, slipping though, and all three whistles sounding off on the foul.
Yeah, interesting there. I think Mouse was smart enough to draw his defender out, leaving some space for Jay to cut in. However, Jay, I think he's asking for a shooting foul.
Substitutions as Gilbeck and Kenny coming back in, and what could be the final lineup for the Dreamers. To the corner, a quick shot by Taishin as Jamarcus chases it down. The referees need a little bit of help. They say Dreamers basketball, and this is where that early review is going to hurt the Steelers. They don't have it anymore, and the referees, they're set on this out of bounds call. It's Taishin trying to get the team organized on defense, now showing off a 1-3-1 zone. And Taishin at the top. Aji trying to figure it out to Jeff, to Kenny in the corner, all the way out to Aji, making a move left, has it stripped, but will be called for the palming. So a dead ball turnover, but the Dreamers don't even get a shot off.
Oh, great defense there by Steelers. It's kind of the best scenario for Steelers here in these final minutes of the game.
It's Taiyue bringing it down. Going physically, and you can kind of say a lucky whistle, but he ended up on the floor. Aji looked like to be the defender called. So the Dreamers need to play sound defense, as there you see Aji kind of bumping in there a little bit late, but Taiyue now need to recover as the referee's getting them organized for free throws. So they will award the Steelers for that trip.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on Jerry right now with this free throw. Like the whole stadium can feel it. Taking some time.
Now, Mouse causing some more trouble, trying to stand on the wrong block. Still more chatter between the two of them, as finally the referee happy with the mopping, as Doug Creighton will come in for Jeff Wu, so not the final lineup. More shooting on the floor for the Dreamers. Taiyue, the biggest free throw made against the Braves, only 1 for 2, and then they had to stop him on that last possession too. First one in.
3 for 3 free throws for Jerry today, and getting him into double digits in points today.
That game was back on April 9th. On a back-to-back sweep for the Steelers. On the way to 8 in a row. He hits the second one too. And now the timeout called by the Dreamers, as down by 2 in the game, up by 4 in the standings. No more scoreboard watching left. This is it right here in the arena. Our cameraman heading over to the Dreamers bench to see what Liao has to say to the troops. overall on the season. If they want to go to the line a few more times, they're without Jeremy Lin's 84%. The biggest thing I heard out of that timeout is Eric Leiboling giving the team a play in case the Steelers go back to that 1-3-1 zone. You heard overload, you heard corners, trying to space it out. The danger is if you end up overloading on a side, you could get trapped on the other. So look out for that. Well, don't know what Coach Tony Zenzulong told the Steelers. Yeah, right now settling in to a half-court defense. Aji guarded by Chen Yowei. Avoids the defense. They swing it around. 10 seconds left. Another gamble as he fires from three. Oh! A huge three-pointer made by number 11. Time after time. Taishin, big swat away by Gilbeck.
It's a clean block called by the ref.
That could be the game. Steelers need 7. The Dreamers need that clock to go down to 0. Playing keep away, several coaches trying to urge the Steelers to foul. They finally do. But the hero in this game, belonging to number 11, Ling Junji, Chen Yowei gambled a couple times, but to no avail, and in fact, 3 points down the other way. And now they send Aji to the line. He's developing some rhythm. Making the first.
Yeah, outstanding job for Aji in this fourth quarter. Making crucial threes and putting Dreamers up on top of the Steelers for now. And
the Steelers need a miracle. They have 3 trying to come in, but the second free throw comes first. And another one. So right now the margin is 9 as Aji will take a bow. Interesting personnel changes as the Steelers will be taking out a lot of shooters. No, they leave in Chen Yowei, Wang Luxiang, but Liu Zhenlu and Wendell Lewis are in, but Qiu Bozang in is a curious choice. On paper, a high percentage three-point shooter, but doesn't have exactly the confidence out there. Kenny Chen trying to apply pressure on Jerry. A long developing play as Liu Zhenlu. Back to Jerry, way too much time coming off the clock. Finally free, he lets it go. No good, Lewis. Little kick out. Time moving inside until now, out of bounds, no. Really running down on the clock. The Steelers only get 1 good shot up. And this shot, and that's it. The Dreamers will come away not only with the victory today, but a spot in the Plus League playoffs.
Yeah, what a collective effort by the Dreamers throughout this game. Facing so many obstacles, facing lots of ups and downs in this season, and being able to come out on top.
Now they could have forced it to overtime and try to get their margin in overtime with 5 more minutes, but in the end turned away. There's a lot of heroes in this one. Of course, we get to mention the victors, but on the Steelers side, even after Jeremy Lin left, Wendell Lewis led the Steelers with 23 points. Liu Zhenhu came in with 20. Chen Yongwei eventually with 11. But only 9 for 38. Three-point shooting was going to doom the Steelers and their season. As you see, Jeremy Lin back in the building, but in street clothes. So the magical ride will end here at home as the Dreamers make it to the locker room with a lot of congratulations even from their opponents. Aji Ling Junji will put on the headset as the away fans get to celebrate as well. On the winning side, the defense of Kenny Chen really being everywhere, but Chris McCullough kind of surprising us. Scored a lot early, but then got a ton of deflections in the second half. Yeah, he ends the game with 4 steals next to Kenny Chen's 4 as we finally get hooked up with Aji Ling Junji or Luka.
就是这场来的，就是我们在这礼拜就是很辛苦的在备战今天的比赛，然后就是其实还有很多东西没有做好，然后很幸运的可以拿下这场比赛这样。
Aji sharing that they put a lot of work in the week leading up to the game, and they didn't play perfectly, but maybe a little lucky, but happy to get the victory. Active out the opponents.
就是他们应该也是有做很多功课来针对这场比赛，然后就是我们其实也打得没有那么轻松，就是我们其实有针对他们4个小的有做功课，可是今天还是打得没有这么容易，然后就是觉得这场比赛真的不容易这样。
Aji saying that they were prepping for the Steelers to play 1 big and 4 smalls, but they made it hard on the Dreamers anyways, and it wasn't easy from beginning to end. Now asked about the recap of the
是他
season.
们开始连胜的时候，然后那时候我们在主场2连败，那时候就有一点压力蛮大的。然后就是再隔1个礼拜，我们又拿下2连胜，就是心情有放松一点，然后就没有想到会有打到最后一场这种比赛，然后就是大家也都是平常心这样，然后大家很渴望想要赢下这场比赛。对。
And Aji sharing that the Dreamers' winning streak put a ton of pressure on them, but they're getting their home sweep was huge, and they didn't even think it'd come down to this.
国王，因为他们就是非常有经验的球队嘛，那我们赶快剩这几天，然后赶快调整，然后来面对他们这样。OK。
And just saying that the Kings are an experienced team and they won't have much time to get ready for that Friday night game 1. Zhou Congkai and Cai Qingjing on the Mandarin broadcast. Before we throw it into a commercial break, Paul, as we expected, it was close in the end, and there's heroes on both sides, but an exciting basketball game from beginning to end.
Absolutely, yeah. What a matchup, and we kind of expect a big fight. Both teams giving it their all, and really congratulations, Dreamers, starting the season.
再次跟现场所有球迷报告，我们稍待会呢，钢铁人的球员会再回到场中央，跟现场的雄鸡们说说话。若不赶时间的雄鸡们呢，烦请留步一下，稍待会等待一下我们的球员回到场中央。同时呢，高雄一期直播钢铁人也非常感谢这个赛季到场支持我们球队的所有雄鸡们。 感谢你们。如果可以的话，不要吝啬自己的热情，再给自己一点掌声，好不好？谢谢各位雄青。
A final word here from the English broadcast in the Plus League regular season, where we had the privilege of calling what we said in the pregame the penultimate game, and it really delivered, because early going there was a lot of back and forth. We'd had the drama of, unfortunately, Jeremy Lin sustaining an injury that couldn't even really make it off on the floor without some assistance. And then, of course, the physicality, the back and forth with the start of the second quarter. In the end, Aji stepped up for them and sends the Formosa Taishin Dreamers as the 4th place up against the Kings, who, as opposed to last season, will be the 1st seed, as Jeremy Lin will come in and sit with his team for the Steelers fan appreciation celebration at the end of the season. This theme weekend, 铁定有你. It's unfortunate, but you can kind of see the influence that Jeremy had on the team by not letting the Dreamers go and run away with the game. They made it close, though, of course, a little bit far away from their +6 that they needed. But you could see what they were going for in the end, with the 3-point made and maybe trying to get the 6 points in overtime. There we see the playoff schedule with the Dreamers, quicker turnaround than, for example, the Pilots and the Steelers, or excuse me, Pilots and the Kings, who played yesterday. That series starts on Friday at 7 in Xinfang, and in Taipei on Saturday, the Pilots against the Braves. So Paul, a little final word before you wrap things up?
Yeah, it's been such a pleasure. So honored to witness this game and be part of this exciting matchup. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Well, it's been my pleasure. And on behalf of Kyle, Zuo Tongkai, Cai Bao, Cai Jingjing, all of our colleagues on the broadcast side and our broadcast partners, thank you for watching. And on behalf of the 6 teams in the league office, I've been Ryan Chen, and we'll see you in the next one.
二位呢，我想特别谢谢我们的队长吕正如。正如在球季刚开始的时候，碰到很多的挑战，自己陷入了低潮。可是他除了自己陷入低潮之外，他没有忘记的去带他的小老弟们，还有领导他的小老弟们，继续把专注力放在场上，让我们这个球季有延伸打到现在的一个希望跟机会。正如，谢谢你。我觉得在这里我也说了多了一点，所以我希望现在把时间给我们的球员跟教练。谢谢各位雄鹰们，谢谢你们今年的支持，感谢。我们明年再来季后赛。
谢谢 Kenny 哥，把麦克风交给龙哥。
要感谢球迷朋友们对高雄钢铁人的支持。你们来到的现场看球，就是鞭策我们、激励我们，非常感谢。那另外，我也要谢谢我们的教练团队、制服组还有球员，谢谢你们的努力、投入以及配合。
谢谢龙哥。接下来把麦克风交给正如。
好，我首先真的很感谢在场的所有球迷朋友们，真的很谢谢你们，从我们开季的低潮，一路到我们现在有这个机会，可以有今天这个挑战，真的很谢谢你们。那今天的结果可能达不到大家预期，也跟大家说声抱歉。那我绝对相信，在往后我们会更努力的去鞭策我们自己，然后把我们最好的态度跟精神再来回馈给大家。谢谢，谢谢，
谢谢正如。接下来把麦克风交给 Jeremy Lin 林书豪。
我只是想说，到最后一个战术，我们拼了去投3个3分球，这就是我希望我们能带来这个灵感，就是在你的人生里，不管你是从南部，不管你是他们说你太年轻，你太瘦，你是女生，你是什么，在你的人生里，我希望大家都可以勇敢的去 shoot your shot。这是我们这个球队带来的一个灵感，这是我们的心。我们来这里从来没放弃，我们从来是一步一步往前走。希望大家也可以感受到，为什么我们在这边会有很多人去眼泪，是因为我们真的变成一个家庭，真的变成我的兄弟。我永远不会忘记这个经验，非常谢谢大家。
谢谢书豪。现在交给怡翔。
好久不见大家。然后，其实啊，这个球季啊，大家的前面起伏还蛮大的。然后，就像龙哥接到教练的时候，大家一直在进步。然后加上豪哥回来，我们大家又更成长了。对。然后，其实一路走来，就大家就是不离不弃的一直在支持我们。对啊，谢谢大家。然后今天是母亲节，然后预祝各位妈妈们母亲节快乐！
感谢怡翔。好。
谢谢大家这个球季的支持，然后下个赛季我们会继续努力，谢谢大家。
因为我上一季因为有些事情被禁赛1年嘛，那今年在重新回来球场上，起伏可能就比较大一点。那我 我也看到各位重新在接纳我，那也不断进场来支持我，这样我真的谢谢大家，谢谢。
Chen，
谢谢大家，这是我的第一年打职业球队，我非常开心，谢谢你们 for your support， 我不会忘记，this is very nice， thank you again， 谢谢。
喂，有请右维。
有声音吗？谢谢大家每场比赛都到现场来支持我们。那虽然结果不是大家预期的，那我们球员还有教练团都是很努力的去进步、去学习的。对，谢谢大家。
要有请博智。
谢谢，就是各位雄心到场支持我们大家，就是不管球队战绩好或坏，就是一直跟着在我们旁边帮我们加油打气。那我们会持续做好我们可以做的，然后继续进步，然后保持就是往对的方向走。对，谢谢大家。
谢谢博智。有请下一位。
我想首先谢谢大家，这一季以来就是一路没有放弃我们，然后支持与鼓励我们，然后我也谢谢我们的教练团队，还有我们的队友们，我们没有放弃，我们没有输，明年我们会再回来，谢谢大家。
我想要说一声，谢谢球迷们，因为前期我们状况不断，然后战绩低落的时候，大家还是陪伴我们。然后到了年后之后，开始慢慢的龙哥接手，然后像外加好哥加入，然后让球迷们再慢慢回来。然后我也谢谢我的队友，然后教练团们，让我持续跟着这个团队持续进步。然后我们明年再来，谢谢大家。
有请绿翔。
没有，就除了谢谢就是各位球迷朋友们，还有我自己的家人之外，我想特别谢谢我的队友跟教练团。对，因为我是一个如果在自己我是在一个自己表现比较不好的时候，很容易自责的人，所以我很想谢谢他们给我那么多信心，然后鼓励我这样，所以谢谢大家。
谢谢绿翔。有请群豪。
就是先谢谢这一季所有雄心，然后陪我们从开季就是很混乱，然后走到今天，从2胜17败，然后走到今天17胜，然后有一个可以挑战季后赛的这个机会，就是像昨天龙哥跟浩哥在记者会上面讲，就是他们打篮球打那么久，没有遇过这样子的机会，那我就也很感谢，就是在我还算是很年轻的时候，然后可以碰到这样子的一个机会，我觉得很感谢。然后就是不只是球员，我觉得教练团，然后管理，或者是当然还有 Kenny 哥最辛苦的 Kenny 哥，然后跟公司上上下下每个工作人员，我觉得这个机会是大家一起创造来的。那我其实昨天本来有写一下稿，本来是写说赛季还没有结束啦，但是今天就是蛮可惜的，没有达到我们的目标。那谢谢大家的支持，然后我们下一季一定会继续努力，谢谢大家。
谢谢。好了，有请下一位。
谢谢大家一路的支持，然后下一季我们会继续努力，谢谢。
谢谢各位球迷这一路走来支持，然后真的 我的球队感到骄傲。谢谢我的队友，还有教练团。
下面一位 Wendell Lewis 温德。
I want to thank each one of y'all for coming out supporting us, even supporting me, believing in me since I got here. And I just want to thank each and one of y'all because without y'all, there's no us. So I just really want to thank y'all. Love each one of y'all.
他想谢谢大家出来支持他，还有我们球队，因为没有你们的支持，今年这个球季不会这么的具有记忆。谢谢各位。
Next one, Goku. Goku 那场悟空。
I just want to thank everybody for all the support. I came here during the middle of the season, and I didn't know what to expect, but you know, every day going into practice with the teammates, the coaching staff, the organization trainers, they made it feel like a family environment, so I want to thank them. And then the fans, the atmosphere, the energy, I've never experienced this, so I just want to say thank you for making this my favorite experience so far in professional basketball.
他说他球季一半加入了球队，那在每一天的练球，他的队友、教练团、训练团队，让他感觉到像家人一样，每天一起的努力，然后来到这边看到我们的球迷这么的有能源，给这么多的热情，让他完全感受到，这是他在职业篮球生涯里面最值得记忆的一个球季。他来这边希望可以谢谢各位，谢谢。
Please welcome the next one, Femi, 铁米。
I'm gonna try my best not to cry anymore. I gave you guys my heart every night. Thank you all. I can't say it enough. My brothers, thank you. The staff. I love you guys so much. This has been like home, and I just want to say, Wani, Sheshe. Thank you.
他说，在这边他每一场比赛都是尽他最尽心尽力的打每一场比赛，在这个地方。队友就是他的兄弟一样，他非常爱这个球队，也谢谢各位在今年这个球季给他这么多的支持，他把这边当作他的家一样，他也在这边最后要谢谢各位对给他的爱跟他的支持，谢谢。
有请下一位。
首先先谢谢大家这一季对钢铁人我们的支持，然后今年是充满挑战的一年，然后也是一个很艰苦的旅程，但很谢谢这一趟旅程有各个位球迷朋友们陪着我们一起度过。虽然结局不是最完美的，但这个过程我们永远都不会忘记。谢谢大家。
谢谢。交给最后一位，彭于晏 （A.K.A. 钢铁申仲宽）孙思尧。
就是虽然我算是中途才加入高雄钢铁人的，可是就是还是很谢谢，就是钢铁人的球迷，然后都很支持我们，然后还会比如说像我长得不像彭于晏，但是还愿意叫我彭于晏这样子。然后虽然今年离我们的目标还差一点点，可是还是谢谢大家，就是希望大家能够继续支持高雄钢铁人，谢谢。
感谢高雄一期直播钢铁人队全队的球员，还有 Kenny 哥以及龙哥。现场雄亲们再给我们全体球员还有自己来点最热情的掌声还有尖叫声，好不好？谢谢各位。 感谢各位雄亲。再一次感谢高雄所有全体的雄亲，谢谢你们。大家离场的时候，请注意自己脚边的安全，感谢你们，谢谢。再一次感谢现场的所有雄亲，我是你们的主持人魏买家，还有 DJ